It's about distancing myself from negative influences and toxic people who lack conviction, morals, and genuine intentions. These individuals claim to help but actually do harm, lacking substance and contributing nothing positive. They're driven by self-interest, mimicking and sabotaging others rather than building anything of value. They're the devil's work, distractions and flip-floppers who go from one belief to another, joining and following others for convenience. I'm staying true to my values and faith, avoiding those who try to manipulate and deceive. The lion's den represents a challenging environment where debates and conflicts arise around faith and beliefs. I'm critiquing individuals who claim to care about people but are actually self-serving, taking information at face value without discernment and failing to support their own community. I'm staying sucker-free from those who align themselves with a demon mentality and try to destroy others. Take flight, I'm on the mic in Mars. Sucker-free, that's my vibe, no time for scars. Stay true to my faith, no room for snakes. Stand away from fake. They ain't on my team, sucker-free who? Lions Den, that's where I be. I'm distancing myself from the suckers. No morals, no values, just drama and schemes. These individuals claim to help but do harm, lack substance and contribute nothing positive. Driven by self-interest, mimicking and sabotaging others rather than building anything of value. They're the devil's work, distractions, going from one belief to another, joining and following others for convenience. Monitoring spirits trying to copy, sabotage and destroy, but I'm on a mission, building something new, breaking through. I'm in the zone where the strong survive, standing firm, no room to thrive. For the fake, the phony, the ones who pretend, I'm sucker-free and my message will transcend. The lion's den represent a challenging or hostile environment where debates and conflicts arise, particularly around faith and beliefs. It's a metaphor for standing firm in the face of opposition or criticism and potentially being tested or scrutinized by others. Symbolized by others. It symbolizes the struggles and controversies that come with holding strong convictions. Stay sucker-free from the people who switch up.
Well, all right. Putting it down for you and yours. Brothers and sisters, we're listening to original music. Original music by Karima the Creative. The seventh answer on her musical journey. And she gives us all these original songs that you're hearing now in the introductions to the Lion's Den. Now, welcome one and all to the conversation continues, talking about what's on your mind. And we're your host, the Dynamic 2. And that is the seventh answer, Lady Karima, along with your brother in faith, Mala Akaya, also known as Baby Hebrew, also known as Dark Storm. And we hope that you, upon this ride and voyage, will enjoy all the various topics of conversation we're going to talk about tonight. And we give an honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And we thank you again for allowing us to come into your mind, soul, and cipher. Now, of course, you know the seven eyes, which makes the Lion's Den vibe, click, and politic. And that is, of course, intelligence, integrity, inspiration, influence. We bring also insight, information, and of course, independence, which all bring up the sum of the facts, because all we're going to give you is frequently accurate, correct truths. And of course, when you roll with the lions, you're rolling with the pride. Because we're always PRIDE, permanently ready and destroying evil, starting with our own. And of course, we're one of the many factions of the anti-coon movement. And what's a coon, you all? A complete, obvious, obedient, yes, a boss nigga. And also the Lions Den is the home of point counterpoint. Sometimes we may not see eye to eye. So we may go into debate, which is also a healthy way of keeping everything honest. Not that we're going to go crooked anyway, but it's all about each one teach one, reach one. And of course, from city to city and state to state without no follow bleep bloops or blunders. The seventh answer, Lady Karima, with the lion's den, she's forever working miracles and wonders in the spirit of Proverbs, the 31st chapter, which gives you all the virtues of a woman about her business, the Lord's business, that is. And of course, we come in the spirit of Isaiah, the 44th chapter, verses 21 through 24, which tells us what? To produce our cause and bring forth our strong evidence. And we also come in the spirit of 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter of the Bible, verse 21, where we're instructed that whatever we talk about, be ready, willing, able to prove all things. It's what we do. Because now you're also being hit with Virgo energy. Yeah, we're critical, we're tactical, political, and analytical, but we always strive never to be hypocritical. And last, but certainly not least, one of the house rules set forth by our other lioness, Iron Manor. When you come into the lion's den, you wipe your feet, you mind your manners, conduct yourself in an orderly manner, and enjoy yourself. Because if at any given time you get out of line, out of pocket, well, the seventh answer, she's going to swoop down and kick you up out of here. I mean, break you down with the quickness, work you out like physical fitness, hit you with so many get the freaks up out of here. Not even a Jehovah will be able to witness. And all I'll do is stand back and say, because you was told. So now with all the formalities out the way, we're now been cleared by the seventh answer to take off on runway 1. Because you're now tuned into the number 1. I'm going to say it again. Number 1. Social media experiment. That's right. In truthality. The Lion's Den. And tonight we're going to continue on with the pork, the pork and the confessions. Oh my goodness, it's a whole lot of piggy, oink, oink, oink going on out here in the world. And that's right. We're going to pick up where we left off last night, talking about your president, the DJ, the notorious DJT. All right. And the Epstein controversies and all that, and the connection between he and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, who sits on these books with names. Ooh, what names? And you know what? You know why? But don't worry, we're going to go from that also into some very interesting, clips and, how you say, content that clearly shows there are a lot of folks out here watching the Lion's Den, and it takes me back to an old song by, I think he called himself Rockwell. And I don't we don't want to be immature about it, but I'm just going, I always feel like somebody's copying me. And Karima, you see. But you know what? I'm actually flattered, but I know our work, okay? But still, I'm flattered. And I'm gonna show you some people who obviously have been checking out our episodes, doing their spin on it. But I just want to let you see the influence that we have, and people are talking, and how we always seem to get blamed for every damn thing. Like we've been pointing out on the series that we've been putting out. But in the meantime, in between time, for all my night owls, ride with me here on the East Coast, depending on what time zone you're in. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Welcome. Ride with me. And for my West Coasters out there, hey, your time is still early, but ride anyway. And for anyone outside of the US that you're tuning in, hey, good evening, good morning, whatever's going on in your neck of the woods. So with all that out the way, we're gonna talk all things porky, piggy, oink, 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 going on in this current administration of the Republican Party. And you know why we're relentless with this? See, let's not forget how this media, American media, MEDIA, the most evil devil or evil device in America. Don't forget how they were throwing R. Kelly and Puffy and Diddy and everybody. They always trying to make us the face of their bull shenanigans. All right? But we ain't forgot the Epstein file. We ain't forgot. We're not going to forget all that we've been seeing lately behind the scenes or quietly being shown. All these delegations and all these revelations that are coming out. Man, the way it's looking, man, I wouldn't be surprised if once again the DJT and his bunch get brought up on freaking treason in the not so distant future. The way it's looking real raggedy right about now. The Attorney General Pam Bondi, she looking real raggedy. Yeah, all these cuts and other cuts are going on, but still, we are not going to ignore all the perverted, dirty, funky, nasty, lascivious, and rancorous stuff that is coming out. All these freaks and creeps and perverts who have for a long time controlling all the resources and wealth the world over, ripping us off lovely, and they doing all this funky, nasty stuff on the low. But now, as the good Lord said, in these last days, He's gonna reveal everything. He's gonna pull up they skirt. He's gonna reveal everything and everybody for who and what they are. So we're gonna continue where we left off last night, where we said the orange pig, with the orange pig cometh corruption. Yeah. Oh man. And we showed you hearings where you had the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, on the hot seat. Oh, well, we got some more clips that they're not showing you. All right, and keep you distracted with all this other madness that's transpiring involving the Attorney General Pam Bondi. And one thing about these people that never ceases to amaze me, they can't answer a question yes or no, a simplistic worth of damn. And this is why we here on the Lion's Den are always like Inspector Gadget, always on duty, and like Richard Pryor's Sharp Out Washington, although he was kind of corrupt in that movie in Uptown Saturday Night. But still, like Sharp Out Washington, we steady on the case. And nothing gets past us. This is our gift from the Creator. Nothing gets past us. It is what it is. And we're going to get it in. We're going to get it on. We want you to strap in. Get your notebooks. Get your pens. Take notes if need be. We want you to. Why? Because at the start and end of every day, it's still going to be your intellectual and emotional and spiritual responsibility to make sure that even when we come here on the air, Whatever we tell you, whatever we present to you is indeed actual, factual. We want you to. We pride ourselves on standing on what we teach and what we bring here. See, we don't have any sponsors that we depend upon. Because, like I said, we don't do the no cooning here. No bed winching, no buck breaking, no samboing and buck dancing, no yasabos, no house niggering. That's right, no house niggering, no butter biscuits with jelly. We don't have any sponsors breathing down our backs, telling us what we can and cannot say. And that what makes the Lion's Den one of the numero uno, like I said, numero uno, truthality, social media experiments. All right? And so as we continue on, and we're gonna start off with a series of videos, and we're gonna show you what's going on behind the scenes and why all this government I think we're now day 19 or 20 of this government shutdown where we're getting our legs cut off. But we're gonna show you why. We're gonna show you why. And here we are. Tick, 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 boom. It's only a matter of time before things really, really get dire out here. See, what we're trying to do is still in, how you say, a spiritual civility. Is try to appeal to the powers that be. Because the God of Israel, he's quite merciful. He's still trying to give you all a chance. But we know, again, that you're going to harden your hearts. We get it. But he still uses us to be diplomatic. Because what's getting ready to happen now is voices like myself, the seventh answer, we're going to be pulled back. And we are gradually being pulled back. And hunting season, war season, just like biblical prophecy said it was going to be, it's going to be in full effect. Now, if you can't handle that, and I meant to say this earlier on in our opening, how could I forget this one thing? Listen, Kareem and myself, we're always sympathetic and empathetic, and we're always considerate because, we believe in freedom of speech, but responsible speech, which means that we think before we speak. We give careful consideration of what we say before we let anything fly out of our pie holes. Now, with that out the way, if you have a problem with truthality, reality, and facts that we're going to be bringing forth, well, you have our deepest sympathies and empathy, because we're not going to compromise it for nobody. So you can skedaddle, scram, beat it, leave, go left or right. It don't matter, because let me assure you, when you leave, my Negro or my Negress, you will not be missed. So with that out the way, we're going to continue to go ahead on and continue this conversation. All right. And like I said, we the people, we're feeling the effects of all this corruption, and people are now tired. We're seeing uproars and rebellion all across America now. Why? Because America is under divine judgment. And we don't have to give you no sermon. We're just going to break it down to you straight with no chaser. But we're going to continue what we were talking about last night and other issues. We got them all lined up. First off, this whole issue with the SNAP. See, that's a very serious thing, but we're going to run it down to you. And Without further ado, let's let's talk as the conversation continues. Talking about what's on your mind. Seventh answer, take it away.
Benefits just aren't there. No notification, no warning, just gone. Well, stop imagining, because according to multiple reports, this is about to become reality for 42 million Americans in just 2 weeks. The U.S. government is telling states to hold off on sending SNAP payments starting November 1st. Let that sink in. 42 million people. That's not a typo. We're talking about millions of families, disabled Americans on SSI and SSDI, veterans relying on VA benefits, elderly people, single moms. All of them could see their food assistance suspended or completely cut off. I spent hours reading through government reports, state announcements, and federal documents so you don't have to. And what I found is deeply concerning. This isn't about a policy change or the usual benefit adjustments. This is about a government shutdown that's dragging on, and SNAP recipients are about to pay the price. Here's the situation. We're on day 16 of a federal government shutdown. The Senate has voted 10 times, to try to pass a funding bill to reopen the government. And all 10 times, it's failed. Just today, the vote was 51 to 45. They need 60 votes to pass. They didn't get it. They also tried to pass a long-term bill to fund the Pentagon so our military personnel get paid on November 1st. That failed too. And here's the problem. SNAP is what they call a mandatory program, which means it's supposed to be fully funded. But here's the catch. Money still has to be appropriated by Congress for the government to actually use it for SNAP benefits. And right now, that hasn't happened. October payments are fine. Those went through because they were already funded. But come November 1st, we're looking at either partial payments, reduced benefits, or, and this is the biggest concern, complete suspension of all SNAP payments for everyone. This isn't theoretical anymore. States are already taking action, and it's scary. Minnesota just announced they're stopping processing SNAP benefit applications as of yesterday, Wednesday, because of the shutdown. The Minnesota Department of Children, Youth and Family said they're being forced to stop processing food stamp applications entirely. But it gets worse. Look at Texas. The federal government has specifically ordered Texas to delay November SNAP benefits amid the shutdown. We're talking about millions of Texans who rely on SNAP facing delays next month because the USDA, the Department of Agriculture that runs SNAP, has what they're calling an insufficient funds problem. They don't have enough money to fund all 42 million Americans on SNAP. They literally cannot fund every single person's account for November. So now they're scrambling to figure out what to do. Let me be very clear about who we're talking about here. If you're on SSI, Supplemental Security Income, you're in this. About 7.4 million Americans receive SSI, and many of you also get SNAP because your monthly income is so low. You're living on maybe $900 a month, and SNAP is what allows you to eat. If you're on SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, same thing. You're disabled, you can't work, and SNAP benefits might be the difference between eating 3 meals a day or 1. Veterans on VA disability benefits, you served this country and now you're being told your food assistance might disappear. That's unconscionable. Single moms trying to feed your kids, elderly people living alone on fixed incomes, disabled Americans already struggling to survive, you're all in the crosshairs of this shutdown. These aren't people who can just figure it out. These are people who are already doing everything they can to survive. And now the government is about to pull the rug out from under them. So what's actually going to happen on November 1st? Based on statements from White House officials and the Trump administration, there are 3 possible scenarios, and none of them are good. Scenario 1. Partial distribution. The USDA takes whatever money they have, let's say it's 20% of what they need, and they send 100% of benefits to 20% of recipients. So some people get their full amount, and 80% of people get nothing. The administration has said they'd feel uneasy about this option because it's not fair, but it's on the table. Scenario 2. Reduced benefits for everyone. They take the limited funds they have and divide it among all 42 million people. So instead of getting your usual $200 in SNAP, maybe you get $40. Everyone gets something, but it's nowhere near enough to actually feed your family for a month. Scenario 3. Complete suspension. This is the nightmare scenario. They suspend SNAP entirely for everyone. All 42 million households get $0 in November. You'd have to wait until December, January, or even February to get your benefits, whenever the government decides to reopen. Which way are they going to go? Honestly, nobody knows yet. But what I can tell you is that discussions are happening right now, and we're running out of time. Here's something else I read this morning that's deeply concerning. According to reports, if the government is still shut down on November 1st and it drags on, let's say until November 15th or 16th, which would be over 40 days of shutdown, the federal government wouldn't send SNAP benefits midway through November. Instead, they'd wait until December and send you a double payment. Let me ask you something. If you're on SNAP right now, do you have enough in your account to cover all of November without receiving any more money? Can you make what's left from your October benefits stretch for 6, 7, 8 weeks? For most people, the answer is no. That's why I told you 2 weeks ago when this shutdown started. You need to use your money wisely. You need to ration. Because this is exactly what's happening.
Sora 2 is now on Artlist.
Now there's another layer to this that's making people nervous. The Trump administration has asked every single state to turn over sensitive data about SNAP recipients, names, dates of birth, home addresses, social security numbers, benefit amounts, going back to 2020. At least 27 states have already complied and turned over this information to the USDA. Most states with Republican governors have already sent it in. Most Democratic-led states have refused, saying this is an invasion of privacy. The administration says this is to combat waste, fraud, and abuse in the SNAP program, to make sure people receiving benefits aren't scamming the system. But here's what frustrates me. Study after study shows that SNAP has one of the lowest fraud rates of any government program. We're talking less than 1%. So we're shutting down benefits for 42 million people and demanding sensitive personal information to solve a fraud problem that barely exists? That doesn't add up. Here's the political reality. There are two competing priorities that need to be resolved by November 1st. Republican priority: the Pentagon needs money to pay military personnel. The next military paycheck is due November 1st. Democratic priority: SNAP recipients need their benefits. Those are also due November 1st. Both sides are using these deadlines as leverage. And in the middle, you, real people who need food, veterans who served, disabled Americans who can't work, kids who depend on their parents, SNAP benefits to eat. According to reports, millions of households will go hungry in November if this isn't resolved. We're not talking about inconvenience. We're talking about people starving. Okay, here's your action plan. These are the steps you need to take in the next 2 weeks. Action 1. Ration your current benefits. If you got your October SNAP payment, you need to make it last. Buy bulk staples, rice, beans, pasta, canned vegetables. Focus on foods that stretch. This is not the time to splurge. Every dollar needs to go as far as possible. Action 2. Apply for emergency food assistance now. Don't wait until your benefits are suspended. Go to your local food bank this week. Register with them. Find out their hours and what ID you need to bring. Some food banks have limits on how often you can visit, so establish yourself now. Action 3. Check if your state is still processing applications. If you've been meaning to apply for SNAP or recertify, check with your state immediately. Remember, Minnesota has already stopped processing applications. Other states might follow. If you have a pending application or recertification, call your caseworker and find out the status. Action 4. Contact your representatives. I know. You've heard this before. But this is serious. Call your senators and representatives and tell them you need SNAP benefits to survive. Tell them you're disabled, you're a veteran, you're a senior, you're a single parent. Make it real for them. Action 5. Watch for updates from your state. Sign up for text alerts from your state SNAP office if they offer them. Check your state's Human Services website daily. States are going to have different approaches to this, and you need to know what your state is planning. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The situation is bad, but there are some reasons to believe this could get resolved before November 1st. First, the pressure is mounting. Military families need their paychecks. SNAP recipients need food. The longer this drags on, the more pressure Congress faces to actually do their jobs and pass a funding bill. Second, both parties know that 42 million Americans going hungry is a political nightmare. Nobody wants that on their record going into future elections. Third, there's still 2 weeks. That's 14 days for Congress to figure this out. The Senate has tried 10 times and failed, but it only needs to succeed once. I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll see movement before November 1st. But I'm also realistic. We can hope for the best, but we have to prepare for the worst. Here's what makes me angry about all of this. SNAP is a lifeline. It's not a luxury. It's not free money that people are abusing. It's food assistance for people who literally cannot afford to eat without it. We're talking about disabled Americans who can't work. Veterans who served our country and came home broken. Elderly people on $900 a month who have to choose between rent and food. Single parents working minimum wage jobs who still can't make ends meet. These are not people sitting at home watching TV and collecting checks. These are people who are trying. They're surviving. They're doing everything they can. And the government is about to tell them, sorry, we can't figure out our budget, so you don't get to eat this month. That's not acceptable. That's not American. And it shouldn't be happening in the wealthiest country in the world. If you've watched this far, you're informed. You know what's coming. And knowledge is power. Yes, this is scary. Yes, there's a real chance your benefits could be suspended on November 1st. But you're not helpless. You can prepare. You can ration your current benefits. You can line up backup food sources. You can call your representatives. You can make your voice heard. I'm going to keep covering this story every single day until it's resolved. I'll keep reading the reports, tracking the votes, and breaking down what's happening in plain language so you know exactly what's going on. If your benefits get suspended, don't give up. Visit food banks, call 211 for emergency assistance, reach out to churches and community organizations. There are people who want to help you. You just have to know where to look. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button. I post updates on SNAP, Social Security, VA benefits, SSI, SSDI, and other programs every single day.
And there you have it. As you can see, we about to go into all-out calamity, anarchy, and warfare in this country. Ain't that many freaking food pantries or whatever else. Here it is. Most of the pantries are not getting the food and what they need like they used to anymore. Are you kidding me? No, what you're looking at is a damn vindictive ass president. And for all my white listeners out there, we know you're listening. For all you maggers or whatever you call, maggers and all that. You're the main ones that are gonna get hit. Or you think Trump and company didn't peep how y'all were out there protesting over the weekend? See, this is all vindictive. And also the wrecking of the economy, the wrecking of the system as we know it brings in what? Are y'all ready? The MTOB, mark of the beast, y'all. See the big picture. These bastards know I'm not going to be pretty about it. These bastards know exactly what they're doing. Mark of the beast, here we come. Yeah, that's right. Wreck the economy. They know what they're doing. But meanwhile, here it is in our faces, poised to give $40 billion to Argentina. Here they still giving money on the low to President Zelensky of Ukraine in the billions of dollars. Here they just gave, I think about 20 something billion, I forget to who. That alone could pay. If I'm not strong in the math game, but I know 20 billion could cover 42 million people. Quite easy. See, brothers and sisters, this is what they're doing. And this is what happens when you allow freaks, creeps, depraved, child molesting, funky, dirty, nasty, stinking cave bears to run everything. They know what they're doing. But the MTOB is fast approaching. They wreck the economy. And then here it is, no man can buy nor sell unless you have the mark of the beast. However, they're going to lay it out on you. See the big picture. We see what's coming. We get it. It's no different than what the leaders of the ancient empires before the Lord's wrath and judgment came down. But this is going to be different. This is going to be way different. Because see, for all you white folks out there who been eating up the welfare rolls while blaming someone else, you know how we always get blamed for everything wrong in America. Oh, what are you feeling right now? Ooh, what are you feeling right now? Because this is who is really affecting more than anybody. Yeah, we're gonna be the primary target in the fact that we're the children of Israel in the divine judgment. God's divine wrath and judgment is coming, and his restoring us got you all out here scared. But in the meantime, while you trying to come for us, you're destroying yourself. And they playing in our faces. Don't tell me they don't have the money. They have plenty of money. When you're up here with 40 billion poised to be given to Argentina. And again, Zelensky, Ukraine, and other countries getting billions in economic investments. And they're going to tell you, oh, well, for all you out here on SNAP and Social Security disability and veterans, well, we don't have no money for it. Get out of my face. See the big picture, though. They're going to wreck the economy. Now they're revealing themselves as, they don't even care anymore. They're revealing themselves as that man of perdition, those people of hell. The only reason that you're not going to want to see it because you want to be blind. They know exactly what they're doing. We're going to keep the energy going. We're going to keep the energy going, and I'm going to come and see who's talking. But best believe all this is now being done intentionally. And this is what happened when you, again, let freaks and pedophiles trying to hide the Epstein files run the country. Freedom of speech, responsible speech, and fair use, y'all. Fair use. Seventh answer, let's go to work.
He said he's trying to get rid of freedom of speech.
Oh, I'm going to come back and talk about that. I'm glad you reminded me of that. We're going to come back and talk about that too, seventh answer.
The month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I'm a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November's SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown,
Food stamp caseworker is not for the weak. Being a food stamp caseworker is not for the weak. Being a food stamp caseworker is not for the weak. I've been cussed out 2 times already this morning. But I still show up to work every day.
Did you guys realize that there's so many people talking about the food stamp cut that's going on as far as like people not getting their food stamps for the month of November? But what I'm going to say is probably not going to benefit you or change the narrative of what's going on for the month of November. But what I am going to say is that you guys realize that around the first of the month, when the majority of people get their food stamps around the first of the month, not everybody, some people get them like on the 3rd, the 15th, it all depends. I don't know if it goes by your last name or what, but majority, if not all of these grocery stores around the U.S., they depend on those billions of dollars worth of food stamps to come in every single month. They prep for it every month at their grocery store. That's why when you go into a store around the first of the month, you see fresh grapes. Everything looks so fresh and pretty because they know that it's going to leave those shelves quick. You guys realize, even if it's just the month of November and people don't get their food stamps, do you know how bad that's going to hurt the grocery stores? All those turkeys that's coming from all those farms that's going to sit there, millions of turkeys, they're going to have to get that stuff away. They can't let it just sit there and spoil. All that meat that sits there, guys, they have to mark that meat down and give it to you and sell it to you for discounted prices. Only people with cash is going to be able to afford that food. You guys realize how bad it's going to hurt the meat producers, the butchers, the farmers, the people who produce the vegetables and everything. So this is way bigger than you guys think. A lot of people was thinking, well, Thanksgiving's going to be bad. It could be bad if people don't get their food stamps because they're dependent on it. But just think about how big of a freaking disaster it's going to be on our economy, man. All it's going to take is just 1 month of people not getting their food stamps, and watch what happens in those grocery stores. Those meat prices is going to drop. Those vegetable prices is going to drop. Those fruit prices is going to drop. They're not going to throw that stuff in the trash can, guys. Not when they can at least make something off of it. But you guys leave me your comments on this topic. I'm just really curious. I think the grocery stores are going to suffer just as much as the people who are not getting their SNAP benefits for the month of November. Thanks for watching.
I ain't gonna lie. In Chicago, come November, if you work in these retail stores, Walmart, grocery stores, Food for Less, Jewels, all that shit, all I'm gonna say is don't try to be no hero. It's not worth you getting beat the fuck up to stop somebody from stealing groceries because they didn't cut the link. Like, if you asset protection, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I was y'all, because I used to work in asset protection, I'd definitely be looking the other way because y'all know when shit like this happen in Chicago, it get really wild. And I'm just letting you know, this not the time for you to be getting beat on and punched on for $16 to $18 an hour. It's absolutely not worth it.
so apparently, I don't know if you have heard this, but this includes the whole United States, y'all. Wherever there is an EBT SNAP program, this affects you if you are an EBT recipient holder. As of November the 1st, there will be no food stamps issued out. Let me repeat that, and that is for the whole United States, y'all. As of November 1st, there will be no food stamps issued out. So, whatever plans you got, now that you heard this, you better rearrange them. And don't think, oh, I ain't getting nothing in November, so December I'm going to get mine and they're going to give me back November. No, it's not going to happen. This is the calm before the storm. Prepare yourself. Prepare your children, your families, your fridge.
Okay, let's talk about this. So, regardless how you feel about this, come November 1st, in all likeliness, if the government shutdown has not ended, about 41 million Americans will stop receiving their SNAP benefits or food stamps. Same thing if you don't know what that means. That's about 12.6% of the United States population. It's a lot of people. In fiscal year 2023, 39% of recipients were children, so those under 18. 11% were children under 5 years of age. 19% were elderly, and about 88% of the households that received it had at least one person in that house under 18. So understand, this is a problem. And even if you're doing well and you don't receive SNAP benefits and you are worried about your tax dollars going to people who do receive SNAP benefits, fair point. But when you take food away from already a desperate set of people, uh, you know, you know, when people are pushed into a corner, people tend to do things that are a little aggressive. So I'm curious, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Are you one of the people that are like, oh, give these poor people some food? Or are you one of these people that's saying these people need to get a job? I'm very curious what you think.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna be getting y'all food stamp in November. To some of y'all who making those videos that like y'all celebrating that people are not going to get their food stamp in November, especially during Thanksgiving. You know what the problem is with these selective celebration, or should I say anger? Why y'all ain't made videos about the 20 billion that was just given to Argentina for a bailout? Just get, yeah, during the government shutdown, your president just gave Argentina $20 billion for bailout. Now, once again, to the Argentina people, I ain't got no problem. I don't know why y'all getting a bailout. It is what it is. That is not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is during the government shutdown, Argentina was given $20 billion, but yet y'all are celebrating that the American people is not going to get finance for food in November. And for the ones that want to say, well, they misuse it, are y'all going to keep up with how Argentina going to spend the money that was sent over there? Which one of y'all going to make sure that they spent the money the correct way? My point exactly. My point exactly. I don't have no issue with my tax dollars helping people getting food stamp, especially, let's try it again, when money and billions is being sent to another country during the government shutdown. So yeah, if you're gonna make a video celebrating that people is not gonna get their food stamp, then y'all need to make a video complaining that 20 billion was sent to another country while people is getting cut off here with assistance. P.S. I don't get food stamp, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
People were saying Walmart is going to be the number one enemy this year for Thanksgiving. They saying that Walmart is going to be the number one enemy. You don't believe me? Type in the search engine of what people are saying about Walmart. As you guys know, Walmart is the biggest store giant. Every state don't have a HEB or a Kroger's, but every state has a Walmart. And due to this government shutdown, people benefits being denied, people not, well, the rumors that people won't be getting all of their benefits for the month of November, people are saying that they're going to be inside Walmart emptying them shelves out without actually paying for those items. Do I believe that that's possible? I believe that people will do that. But what people are messing up at is they're making videos saying what they're going to do around Thanksgiving time when it comes to Walmart. Now, all you doing is just basically you're letting Walmart know to tighten up on their security. Those use scans, they're gonna have security tighten up so much. But you know what? If people are not gonna get their benefits, it's not gonna matter about security. No one's gonna be inside Walmart shopping, buying anything for Thanksgiving. Do you guys know how much food that they're gonna have to mark down? You think about this, man. Billions of dollars in food stamps are spent every single month at these grocery stores. That's the reason why when you go in there around the first of the month, you see all those fresh produce items, fresh fruits, vegetables. The meat look really nice and, pretty with the little food coloring on it. I'm telling you, a lot of food is gonna get thrown away from these stores. They said that the pantries, the shelter food pantries are running empty. I don't know, man. What do you guys think about people saying that they're gonna be at Walmart stealing and doing all kind of crazy stuff around Thanksgiving time? People are desperate, man. Even before this government shutdown happened, people are already out here struggling. We all know the months with the R's in them are the cold months, but the most 2 months of the year with the R's in them that people stress the most over is the month of November and the month of December, because those 2 months people are trying to figure out how to rob Peter so they can continue paying Paul.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, oh, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car if you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch. You ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you. You wanna take some link? Like I don't be taking shit already. Watch this. It's okay.
I'm gonna tell you like this right here. If you done got your stamps for this month, or you haven't got them yet, if you done got your stamps, or when you get your stamps for this month, don't go running trying to sell your damn stamps. Don't go running buying all that goddamn junk food, them knickknacks and all that bullshit. Don't be trying to do nothing else other than put some grocery in that refrigerator and some grocery in that deep freezer. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all what's happening. So that whole rumor talk about no stamps being issued in November is a fact. Nobody in America that's in the EBT or part of the EBT program will receive food stamps in the month of November. Nowhere in the United States, if they have a government SNAP EBT program, wherever you are, they will not be issuing no benefits. Now, this is the crazy thing. I don't know if y'all really believe a lot of the stuff or if y'all reading up on it, but bro, brace yourself because it's not just November. Listen to me, it's not just November. It's not just November. They trying to phase out and get rid of food stamps just like they trying to do the Section 8, the government assistant, anything that's government assisted, any programs, they trying to get rid of all of that. You see what I mean? And they telling everybody it's to save money and it's the this and it's that. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. Don't be no fool. A lot of y'all, like I said, a lot of y'all wake up and run the social media and bullshit. Y'all receive food stamps. Y'all get some type of government assistance. Y'all better start waking up and looking what's going on around y'all. Cause like I said, you gonna wake up one day in the world and the life that you know and used to and feel like you entitled to, that shit gonna change. And they doing it right in front of your eyes. Like I said, you gonna wake up one morning and you're not gonna be able to walk in your grocery store and swipe that damn EBT card and fill up your pantry. You see what I mean? So for y'all, for the ones who don't know what's going on, for the ones that's not resourceful, for the ones that's not self-efficient, y'all better get on y'all shit. You would not get food stamps come November. And if y'all haven't been paying attention, don't sit here and just think, oh, come December they're gonna give me my November stamps and my December. No, they are not, because the way they talking, the way this Trump administration talking, you might not get them come December. And I'm being honest. So if you don't know what's going on, like I say, man, tap in, tune in with me, man. I keep y'all updated just like I did, and I'm like with the child support laws and everything else. If you don't know, hit me up. I'll let you know what's going on.
Crystal clear. What this bill did was create the potential for SNAP programs to no longer exist in any shape, form, or fashion in terms of providing SNAP benefits in states that could not afford to or chose not to, for whatever reason, meet the cost sharing. Is that a fair assessment of that, Ms. Green?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bivens?
Yes, it is.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes, sir.
I almost just want to sit in silence to let that sink in. The United States of America just signed into law a bill that will allow states essentially to determine whether or not they will provide food assistance to anyone, to federally funded food assistance to anyone.
Donald Trump just fucked up. Like, why would you take away these people benefits? We literally just had to go home because everybody came into my grocery store. I work at Walmart. Everybody came into Walmart, bum rushing, stealing, like filling up buggies, running out the store, like just putting all the groceries in their cart because he want to cut off motherfucking food stamps. Y'all, this shit is crazy.
So a Walmart employee made a video today, and he really, really works at Walmart, guys. He's really a Walmart employee. He even showed himself at Walmart and showed footage. He actually showed footage today of people going inside of Walmart on this October 17th, Saturday, 2025, rioting, running out of Walmart with baskets of groceries, knocking people down. They said the police was everywhere, man. And I'm hearing that this is due to the SNAP benefits getting cut off. Now, if this is actually happening in the month of October, we're not even in a month of November where Thanksgiving starts at. So if this is really happening in October, I cannot wait to see what the month of November is going to look like as it edges closer to Thanksgiving. Even though Thanksgiving is towards the end of the month next month, and you already got riots going on in Walmart, I don't know, man. This could end up really, really bad. The decisions to shut the government down, and not just to shut the government down, but to actually have all these people scared and in hysteria thinking that they may not get their SNAP benefits. Them kids need that WIC. They need that milk. These people need those food stamps to fill their refrigerators and their pantries up. Now, I do know a lot of people do abuse the system, but there are some legit people out here who do not abuse the system, man. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this riot at Walmart. You guys can actually look it up. Just type in riot at Walmart. It's going on. The guy actually showed clips of what was going on inside Walmart. And I know people could Photoshop stuff, but you can't Photoshop a video like that. He said that it was horrible. He said it was so horrible that he ended up going home early because they had them in the parking lot cleaning up stuff out the parking lot, bags of chips that was all over the ground, packs of meat that was all over the ground from people running to their cars. They said one truck pulled up. They dumped a bunch of stuff in the back of the truck while being chased by loss prevention, and the truck sped off and hit a tree or something. It's getting bad, man.
So if y'all think the people are the only ones that's gonna be losing out this little text message notification y'all sent about us not getting our November EBT, you guys are very mistaken. So this message is also for Walmart, Kroger, Albertson Companies, Publix, Aldi, Costco and Sam Clubs, and Target. Y'all know how you like to double up the prices for holidays and for the holiday items that people buy, like milk, eggs, and cheese? Because Kerrygold butter for the 4-pack at Costco is $20 and it's usually $10. Well, y'all won't be getting that money. But even worse, not only are y'all getting the SNAP money that you usually get every month, y'all gonna be taking losses because people are tired, baby. So it's finna be, it's finna get real cute. Not that I'm encouraging anything bad. I'm just telling you what it is, and y'all need to go on the internet, and people are not playing with none of you. So remember this, guys. Retailers count on holiday margins. Seasonal premium pricing means big revenue. If lower income shoppers can't buy, stores miss both volume and margin. Low income shoppers also drive frequency for every week purchases. So grocery stores, y'all better stand the fuck up.
So, as the government continues to be shut down, it is now October 19th, almost November. So, for November, the government continues to be shut down. There will be no food stamps issued for the month of November. Now, these videos that I played for you guys bring up an interesting point because there are millions and billions of dollars that these stores make because of EBT and SNAP and food stamps, whatever you want to call it. So now the question is, who is going to suffer from this? And it will not only be families, women, and children, it'll also be these stores and these people that make these products that will no longer be covered under food stamps, Leave a comment down below and let me know.
Yeah, that's right. This take me back to that the Red Man and Mr. Yellow classic. Out in New York, somebody getting robbed. Out in DC, somebody getting robbed. In Killer Cali, somebody getting robbed. Yo, as you can see, biblical prophecy is rolling out right on time. And understand what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They want the violence to jump off. What do you think Trump was placing all these troops in the neighborhoods in the first place? It was already being put into effect. They know that people are going to break food. They're looking for it because, as the Most High said, when this war goes down, they're coming for predominantly we, the children of Israel, we're the primary target. But in the meantime, in the between time, others are going to get caught up in this too. See, think about this for a second. History. When you go back to 70 AD, when the children of Israel were being attacked by, I think it was Rome, I think it was. I forget what empire, but look what happened. And even in Egypt, what happened? Pharaoh shut the food down. He shut down water. He shut down everything trying to get at us in 70 AD. That's right. They shut down food. They shut down commerce. They shut down everything that made us thrive. See, those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. But this is what they're doing. But of course, it all is the prelude for the mark of the beast. They know what they're doing. But of course, it's not going to be a one-sided affair. People are going to break through. Wars are going to drop. Wars in this country are definitely going to erupt. Like old girl said, and you heard some of the people who said it. You giving 40 billion here, 20 billion over, and they're still giving billions of dollars away in our faces. But telling us, oh, we come the first of the month, we ain't gonna have no money for you to feed your family from SNAP and whatever else that we have going on. But they're counting on people breaking food. It's deliberate. All right. Now I'm gonna come right back. We're just gonna let these videos run, and we're showing you now. People listening to the Lions Den. They're listening to other voices out here, but ain't nobody bringing it how we bringing it. We bringing heat. We giving you the Bible without even giving you a sermon. All right. So let's just go to the videotape. Seventh answer. Listen and learn, you all.
But history doesn't lie. Without Black Americans leading the charge, your protest is just a photo opportunity that changes absolutely nothing. You know what's fascinating? Watching people organize protests in America and genuinely believing something will change when the very people who taught this country how to protest, who perfected the art of resistance, who turned suffering into strategy, are nowhere near the front lines. The No Kings protest, it will end exactly like the last one. People will show up, hold signs, post pictures, feel good about themselves for a weekend, and then Monday morning comes and nothing, absolutely nothing, has shifted in the power structure of this nation. Let me be clear about something that makes people uncomfortable, but needs to be said. This is not about gatekeeping activism or claiming ownership over resistance. This is about recognizing a pattern so obvious that ignoring it requires willful blindness. Every single movement in American history that actually moved the needle, that forced this country to change its laws, its constitution, its very identity, had Black Americans at the center of it, not on the sidelines, not not as supporting cast members, at the center. The labor movement? Black Americans were there, fighting for rights that would eventually benefit all workers. Women's suffrage? Black women were organizing, strategizing, pushing forward even when white suffragettes tried to leave them behind. Civil rights? Obviously. But even the movements you don't immediately associate with Black leadership. When you dig into the history, when you actually study who did the groundwork, who took the risks, who paid in blood and freedom and generational trauma, Black Americans are right there. And here is what people miss about why this matters. It is not just about who shows up. It is about who understands the assignment. Black Americans did not learn protest from a handbook or a trending hashtag. We learned it from survival. We learned it from generations of people who had to figure out how to demand humanity from a system designed to deny it. We learned it from people who could not just go home when the march was over because home was not safe either. That is a completely different education and resistance than showing up because you are angry about something that might affect you in the future. You want to know why your protests fizzle out? Because there is no institutional memory. There is no generational wisdom being passed down about how to sustain a movement when the cameras leave, when the social media engagement drops, when it stops being trendy to care. Black Americans have been doing this for 400 years. We know what works and what does not work. We know the difference between making noise and making change. We know how to play the long game because we have never had the privilege of the short game. The No Kings protest, whatever it is specifically protesting, will follow the same pattern. People will gather, there will be speeches, there will be energy, and then everyone will go back to their lives and wonder why nothing changed. You want to know why? Because America does not respond to discomfort from people it already considers comfortable enough to ignore. This country has a very specific relationship with Black Americans. It is a relationship built on fear, on debt, on the knowledge that everything America claims to be, it became by standing on our backs. When Black Americans say enough, when we organize, when we move, America pays attention because America knows it owes us, not metaphorically, literally. Every infrastructure, every institution, every dollar that built the foundation of American wealth has Black labor, Black suffering, Black brilliance embedded in it. So when we protest, it is not just citizens expressing discontent. It is creditors collecting a debt. And this country knows it. That is why the response is different. That is why legislation follows. That is why the National Guard shows up. That is why there are congressional hearings and emergency sessions. And suddenly everyone is very concerned about maintaining order. But when other groups protest without us at the head, the response is different. It is either easily ignored or quickly co-opted, sanitized, and turned into something that does not threaten the actual power structure. Because without Black Americans leading, these movements lack the one thing that makes America fundamentally uncomfortable, which is the mirror that reflects what this country actually is versus what it pretends to be. Think about the psychology of it. America built its entire identity on a contradiction: freedom and slavery existing simultaneously, democracy and disenfranchisement living side by side, equality as a founding principle while genocide and oppression were founding practices. Black Americans are the living evidence of that contradiction. We are the witnesses who cannot be dismissed because our existence, our presence, our survival is proof. When we speak, we are not offering opinions about injustice. We are presenting evidence from 4 centuries of lived experience. That carries a weight that makes the powerful nervous because it cannot be spun, rebranded, or explained away. Other groups can be told they are overreacting, that things are not as bad as they seem, that they should try working within the system. Black Americans, we have tried everything. We have been patient. We have been peaceful. We have been violent. We have been educated, we have been wealthy, we have been poor. We have tried every possible approach to being seen as human in this country, and we have kept meticulous records of what works. That is not just experience, that is expertise. And expertise cannot be replicated by good intentions or sudden passion. Now let me address the pushback because I know it is coming. Someone will say this is divisive, someone will say all protesters should be united, someone will say bringing race into it undermines the cause. Here is what that actually means. You want the labor without the credit, you want the strategy without the leadership, you want the results that come from Black-led movements without dealing with the uncomfortable reality that maybe Black Americans understand how to dismantle American oppression because we have been studying it from the inside for centuries. This is not about excluding anyone. This is about recognizing effectiveness. If you are trying to fix a complex system and there is a group of people who have been navigating, surviving, and beating that system against all odds for generations, maybe, just maybe, they should be leading the strategy session. It is not identity politics. It is practical intelligence. And here is the deeper truth that nobody wants to sit with. Protests without Black Americans at the forefront do not scare power. They do not threaten the status quo in any meaningful way. They become pressure valves where people release frustration without actually disrupting the mechanisms of control. The government, the corporations, the people who actually run things, they can absorb that kind of protest. They have absorbed it repeatedly. What they cannot absorb, what genuinely makes them restructure and reconsider and occasionally even repent, is when Black Americans organize with purpose. Look at the timeline. Look at every major legal change, every constitutional amendment, every shift in how America defines citizenship and rights and justice. Black-led movements precede them, not coincidentally, causally, because we have something that cannot be replicated in a weekend workshop or a Twitter thread. We have generational knowledge of resistance. We have cultural memory of what it takes to survive systems designed for our elimination. We have spiritual strength built from people who found ways to maintain humanity in circumstances designed to destroy it. Let me tell you something else about why Black-led movements work and others do not. Economics. Black Americans understand economic leverage in ways that others are still learning. We know how to hit this country where it actually feels pain, which is in the wallet. The Montgomery bus boycott was not just about sitting where you want. It was about understanding that if you control enough of the consumer base, you control the negotiation. That is business strategy at the highest level. We have always known that America will ignore moral arguments but will respond immediately to financial pressure. That knowledge, that willingness to sacrifice economically for long-term gain, that is what separates movements that make history from movements that make headlines. We also understand something crucial about timing and sustainability. Black-led movements do not burn out after one march because we know this is not a sprint. We have community infrastructure that sustains activism across years, across decades even. Churches, barbershops, beauty salons, family networks that keep the message alive when the mainstream media moves on. Other movements rely on viral moments and celebrity endorsements. We rely on the aunties who feed people at the protests, the uncles who drive folks to demonstrations, the cousins who bail people out of jail. That is organizational depth that you cannot build overnight. So when I say the No Kings protest will fail without Black Americans at the head of it, I am not being divisive. I am reading the historical record. I am applying basic pattern recognition. I am telling you what will happen because it is what has happened every single time. You cannot borrow the aesthetics of Black protest, the language, the imagery, the songs, the strategies, and expect the same results if you are not willing to follow Black leadership. It does not work that way. It has never worked that way. The choice is simple. You can keep organizing protests that make you feel like you did something while changing nothing. Or you can recognize that maybe the people who have been fighting this fight since before this country even pretended to have ideals about freedom might know something about how to actually win, not just how to show up, how to win. Because here is what Black Americans know that others keep learning the hard way. America does not change because it suddenly develops a conscience. America changes when it becomes more costly to stay the same than to transform. And the only group in this country with enough historical weight, enough moral authority, enough understanding of how to leverage that cost is us. Without that at the center of your movement, you are just practicing for the real thing. And the real thing only happens when we decide it is time.
Yeah, now see that's going into another phase, the next phase of the conversation as it continues. Okay, yeah, our presence was greatly missed, and this is and a lot of people are mystified as to why come we didn't come out there. But see, to all my Black bros and sisters out there who set this out, kudos to you. You use your wisdom. Kudos. No, we're not going to be in the forefront of no more movements, no more marches, and we're not getting the benefit and everybody else benefiting off of us. Nah, that's over with. I want to make that clear, but let's stay on topic. I'm going to go back. Actually, they both blend, but this whole cutting of the food stamps, the EBT. See, if you're hungry, you can't go to war. All right? So pay attention and everything else now. Some of y'all out there talking in the chat section. I'm coming, but right about now, we want to just go rapid fire. And now we're going to go into a lot of people were missing us out there in that battlefield. And let's just hear what people are saying that you heard here on the Lions Den first. Go to work, Karima.
In those positions that the illegal immigrants or the immigrants were doing in the fields. I could tell you, Mr. President, that is not fucking happening. We are not going back in the field. You could get that out your mind. You and all your Republican buddies, it's not happening. So you need to come up with a better solution for your shortage of staff. You can't pay us enough. We've been there. We've done that. Not happening. You need to figure out how to work out a path to citizenship for all these hardworking immigrants that do want to work in this country. Because there are lots of people that comes into this country that honestly want to work. Not all immigrants that's here, whether they're here legal or illegally, want to commit crime or do commit crime. Statistically proven, you have more homegrown assault on this country than anything else. Mass shooting for one. You understand? So you need to figure out something. But black people, we're not. We're not the solution to that. We're not going back. And I believe if for some reason that was ever attempted, you're going to have a fight on your hands.
MAGA white farmers, always remember that person who laughs the last always laughs the best. And clearly, it is the black folks who are laughing hard at you people. The FAFO season is nearly end. It is here with you, MAGA white farmers.
Now, stop for a second, Karima.
Viewers and subscribers.
Hold on for a second. Now, here it is. You have our Africans. Give us free. They too are paying attention to what we have not been doing. Everyone's looking at what Black American, Judah, Black Hebrew Israelites, whatever name you want to give us. Why is everyone so concerned about why we not moving, or why we being quiet, or why we laid back? See, we talked about it here, and see now there are other voices. And I know, look, we know our work, and it's fine. That's fine. I like to hear people be influenced. Like I said, one of the 7 eyes we give, influence. That's right. See, they thought we were going to go back out there on those farms. You must be out your freaking mind. You get rid of those illegal immigrants or whatever, or some of them who were legal. And thought we were going to go back out there? You stupid. We'd rather die before we do that again. No reparations, no fair pay. It ain't going to happen, no matter what you do. And I'm to the point now, I'd rather die. I'm not worried about rationing. I'd rather die before I continue to have somebody else's boot on my neck. And this is what it's coming to. You want a war? Okay, you're going to get it. They want to try to eliminate free speech. See, anybody who makes sense, let's clarify what that means. Any voices of dissent who can point out and pinpoint their BS and what they're doing. Shows like The Lion's Den, where we're coming from the biblical perspective and laying it out and just foiling them and calling them on it. These are the voices they want to get rid of. This is the free speech they want to try to impede and stop. No, see, no more riding on the coattails of the family of Judah. We don't give a good goddamn who don't believe that we're the children of Israel. So what? You don't want to believe that Black Americans are the forefront and the backbone? That's your business. But history shows it. And everybody nervous now. Why come the niggers, why come the Black Negroes, why come they not, why they're not out here? Why is everyone still so concerned about what we doing? Think about it. Run the video, Kramer.
Please and kindly feel free to hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. You can as well share this video to your family and friends if you find it educative, of value and of essence. Most of all, like this video up family. On today's episode, our focus will be in United States of America, where we'll be focusing on MAGA white farmers. Clearly, from the first video, you can clearly understand why we are here. Trump deported immigrants from America. He expected black people to provide cheap labor to white MAGA farmers. To his surprise, black Americans are clearly not interested in working in white farms. Clearly, this also shows you how Trump's directives are always against Americans. On today's report, Trump just gave Argentina $20 billion to support its economy. We all know and we all understand that China and the United States of America had tariff wars. This made China to leave the market for United States of America. United States of America being a #1 export for soybeans to China, China decided to leave this market and focus itself in Argentina. Now, Argentina is giving China soybeans. You get? Trump just gave Argentina $20 billion to support its economy. China shifted its interest from America to Argentina. This shows you how Trump doesn't support you white MAGA farmers. The following are videos we are going to watch. We are going to see how MAGA white farmers are suffering with Trump's tariff. Trump is in this seat to enrich himself. He is not there to uplift American people. Black folks have come steadfast and they are clearly saying this is not our war. They want white people against voting for Trump, and they didn't listen. Now the FAFO season is clearly with them. Let's watch the following videos to the end. Let's be on the same page. Let's agree. Let's watch step by step, and we'll come back at the end with more commentary on this episode. Let's watch.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a third-grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a third-grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great-grandmother worked in fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields. They need to let them know that.
So Texas farms don't have no workers? I like salad, y'all. I mean, what we gonna do? I'm not going out there. Y'all should have left them folks alone. Now look at us. We already overweight, out of shape, high blood pressure. Now we ain't got no vegetables. I am just waiting on MAGA to report to the fields. It's your turn.
So I want to talk about this article really quick because it's all starting to make so much sense right now. This author and journalist was having lunch with friends. There was a white guy and he's married to a black lady and they were talking politics. And he says that farmers weren't worried about Trump deporting migrants because, wait for it, they thought because unemployment was so high for black people that these black people would run back to the fields and do the jobs that the migrants were doing when they got deported. So she asked, where'd you get that information from? White farmer TikTok or mega Facebook memes. Like, where'd you get this information from? And her and the wife basically started giving him information, letting him know unemployment is only 6.8% for African Americans, and 93% of Black people are currently working. Got so caught up in what they were hearing at Fox News and other places, thinking black jobs, immigrants are taking black jobs, that they just assumed they'd get rid of the immigrants and Black people would take the immigrants' jobs? Sir, our ancestors did not march, die, and fight for civil rights so we could go back to the fields? Like, what? But shout out to the Latino immigrant population that have mastered that labor with skill and stamina. This country doesn't even appreciate it enough. Oh, and by the way, when they do try to hire Americans, Black or white, to do those jobs, most of them don't even last half a day. They just ghost them without even picking up their paychecks. True story. So y'all, tell me, do you really believe that they thought Black people were planning to replace immigrants in that labor force if they got deported? Because I need to know who was smoking that logic.
If you're an American farmer, right, or were, considering, some of you guys are going out of business, between the years of 2024 up until now, right, I'm not even gonna hold you, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. Right? After seeing the way that you let Donald Trump play in your face, now I don't believe that you and I's paths should ever cross. I'm a city girl. You understand? But in the event that it happens, in the event that it actually does happen, and you tell me that you are a farmer, I'm going to let you know off rip that you have lost so much of my respect. And I know it probably doesn't mean much. But after seeing you guys literally hold council meetings to pray to the man that literally is 100% responsible for all the shit that you're going through, for you actually losing your business, and y'all haven't done nothing? Y'all ain't say shit? Y'all not angry? No, nothing? Y'all literally losing your livelihoods. Losing your livelihoods, and you're silent. You're silent. And y'all wanted to replace people in the fields? Y'all wanted to replace your workers? Why didn't you just go out into the fields? Y'all take orders really well. Really well. No backlash, no back talk, no nothing. Y'all should have been out there in the fields. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This was y'all last month begging in council meetings, praying to Donald Trump to help you, right? Y'all were begging for it. What's the title of this one? Farmers are struggling under Donald Trump? And let's just scroll down a little bit further, shall we? Let's read. Farmers across the country have fallen on hard times in the wake of a number of President Donald Trump's policies, despite being one of his most loyal voting groups. Dear Lord, we're hurting. We're hurting here, Lord. Please, if Donald Trump really loves us, please show us the fruit of your love. Do you remember that prayer? Do you remember that prayer? Here's the best part. Here's the fucking best part, right? The person that you guys are praying to, that you're asking to please save you from the very problem that he brought to your fucking front door, right? He brought it to your doorstep. You're praying for him to be the person to solve the problem. And he keeps telling you, he's trying. We have to help our farmers. I'm doing everything that I can. We need to help the farmers. We need to help the farmers. That's what he says, all while not helping the farmers. But yesterday, he gave Argentina $20 billion. He gave Argentina $20 billion to help them with their economy. And and here's what's the best fucking part about it. Due to his tariffs, our exports in soybeans have plummeted, right? China's no longer doing business with us. Guess who has now become the replacement for soybean exports to China? Argentina. So not only did Donald Trump give them money that he could have gave you, could have gave it to you. Not only did he give it to Argentina, but he also, because of his tariffs, they got your business. They got your business. Argentina is not only getting our tax-paying dollars for $20 billion lump sum, they also have your business. And due to the relations right now, the tension between China and the US, I fear they're not coming back. They're not coming back. You think that I'm lying? Look at that. Soybeans were, you see how it's already changed? Were a leading export for the United States. If you go down to the first bulletin point, you'll see trade freezes with China. That's the #1 exporter for soybeans here in the United States, but we don't have them anymore. Combined with corn, you understand, in 2024, they accounted for $110.2 billion or 45.4% of the U.S. crop cash receipts. You understand? After cattle, if you go down to the third bulletin point, right? After cattle, corn and soybeans were the second and third highest valued crop commodity here in the United States. But our farmers, they're fucked. So all that money, gone. It's gone. The United States economy don't get that anymore. But who's really feeling it? The farmers. And my main reason for why I don't have no respect for you white American farmers anymore is because had anybody else been responsible for you losing your entire livelihood, you would have turned this fucking country upside down. But because it's Donald Trump, you're silent. You're fucking silent. Y'all are weak. Y'all are weak. You can't even feed your kids. Y'all can't even feed y'all kids because of what Donald Trump did. And there's nothing from you. There's nothing from you. Anytime we actually hear anything from you guys, y'all are being fucking passive. Y'all are asking for help from the person that's actually the fucking culprit. Where the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense? But had it been anybody else, if anybody else was responsible for you losing your entire livelihood, generation worth of a business, y'all are losing it in the blink of a fucking eye because of one man, and y'all haven't done anything to take that man out yet? Couldn't be me.
When black people warn you against something, you clearly should follow their directives. Black folks warned white MAGA farmers that this war with Trump will surely not come to an end. We all know Arkansas being a #1 economy supporting produce of soybeans. Now the farmers are clearly crying out for Trump to give them directive, to give them support in terms of financial help. But Trump is not hearing them out. Now purple season is here with them. They are paying out the price they deserve. White farmers, always remember, the next coming elections, choose your leaders wisely. Always follow instructions given to you by black Americans family. They know what it is to be an American citizen from way back. Their ancestors worked in your fields. Now, up to now, you still want the same black people to work in your farms. This is bringing back modern slavery, and that's what Trump is up to. Also, Trump also looks down on black Americans. He deported illegal immigrants from America. He was focusing on cheap black labor because he believes black people don't have employment in America. Black people are rich. They are people of good quality. They are people of sound mind. But Trump is clearly not on the same page with black people. White MAGA farmers, these directives are always to enrich Trump. Trump doesn't care about you. The black people learned this lesson well. They don't focus on Donald Trump because they know Trump doesn't care about their welfare. Look at racism. Trump is doing nothing at all to protect the black American family. What do you think about this episode? Is Trump beginning to bring modern slavery in the United States of America? What is the situation in America right now? Do you believe MAGA white farmers will fail terribly? Do you believe Trump will rescue MAGA white farmers? Let me know your response on the comment section below. Let's engage. Let's talk. Let's talk more about this on the comment section, family. See you on the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
And yeah, you're now tuned into the conversation continues talking about what's on your mind here on the Lion's Den. That's right. We're talking about the pork and the confessions. That's correct. And see, these farmers, they ought to lose their shirts. Stealing, look at all the generations of black people who they stole land from. Yeah, that's right. Everything is coming full circle. No, we're not gonna go back out there. Oh yeah, and that might be also why they're wrecking the economy too. They try to force your hands, especially black folks, to get out there in them fields. But listen, we rather die. I'm gonna make that clear before we go back out there. And like old girl said in the previous video, if you think you gonna feed your family while I was starved, you in for a rude awakening. And old girl here who dropped it, she's right. When it comes to black folks getting reparations, MAGA and everybody named mama up in arms about it. But here it is, Argentina, 20 billion. Trump just gave, you don't hear anybody saying jack bone. Anytime we get something, everybody named mama raise hell in this country. But anybody else, it's all gravy. They don't say jack bone. And you wonder why we not out there no more? That's why. But now let's see who's talking. Let's go to the comment section because some of y'all let's see who's talking. We're gonna start back up here. We're gonna see. Okay, we got Joshua Amario. Now the time, President Donald Trump, to make the deal and make America great again by giving us our reparations to repatriation before it's too late. Well, you know, Joshua, you always saying that, but they're not gonna do that. They're too proud. Okay, we got Salaya Binya, Smash Night along in the house. Let's see what Asiatic 777 said. Taking away food stands for a bunch of people is like really, really high inflation. We should use the government to grow us food. Trump gave away $28 billion, and that could have paid for like 3, 4, or 5 times over. I agree. This will cause very high criminal activity. You're right, Asiatic. What they will do is give the white people all the benefits. Actually, Asiatic, no, they won't. See, a lot of poor whites are going to get caught up in this dragnet. See, there is a enclave of the rich whites who people call the elites. I don't know why they call elite, unless you want to call them an elite piece of genetic trash. All right, they are looking to wipe them out too. And that's why they're bringing in all these whites, as the seventh answer Lady Karima brought out on one of our previous episodes, how they're bringing in all these white Afrikaners and all these Ukrainians who are farmers. But the white people in America are going to be replaced too. That's why they're knocking them out. That's why they're getting knocked out. And that's good for them now. Because as my boy Hammurabi said, you should have listened to us, but nah, they're too proud. They're bigger than racism. So now let them suffer. So what? You reap what you sow, and what you sow is what you reap. Now you said, let me see what else. Buy you some giant boxes of mashed potatoes. Okay. Salih Billah says, families should have already purchased land growing crops a long time ago, especially awakened, not too late to get with like-minded souls and make it happen. But Salah Ben Yah, we did have our own land. We did have our own farmland. And these last 30 or more, 35 to 40 years or more, they have been ripping us off, stealing from a lot of black folks, man. As a matter of fact, we just did an episode a couple of nights ago about what's been going on in South Carolina involving the Gullah Geechee clan of our people. But it's not just them. It's black folks all across the southern regions and Midwest regions who've been having their land stolen. And that's why these skunks are feeling what they're feeling. And that's good. Asiatic 777 says, Trump is going to make white America to pick vegetables like Mexicans. Trump wants to get rid of all Mexicans. Think of Trump like a leprechaun. If you make a wish, then he will give you what you want, give you what you ask for, but it always has a catch. You can't go say, let me gold. Salaya Binya. Bad or rotten meat is used to make makeup products. That's true. Now you say, who else is talking? Claudia Scheinbaum is not allowing anybody in Mexico anymore, not even natives. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Asiatic. Now who else? Cooking with Billy, you say the Mexicans are gonna say, here, take my job. Donald Trump will have to get Asians to work the fields. Good luck with that, Billy. Hung Hua Ching and Hung Si Kwa, they're not gonna get out there in those fields. I think the Mexicans might war against Asians if they become scabs. If you don't turn your guns in, then they won't let you buy food. You see, they do it during wintertime too. Well, in the book of I forget where it's at, in the book of Matthew, when Christ said that when this war began, you better pray it don't begin, or it doesn't start or occur in the winter. Yeah, they picked the right time. It's cold, but see, like I said, they think they got this thing locked down, but it's gonna be one hell of a war. And see, again, we notice this is all divine prophecy, and we are the primary target because everyone's looking at us. Now, 2/3 of our nation, they're gonna die in this thing, but it's cool. But we're gonna keep it on. Yes, Cooking with Billy. Revelations does say plagues and diseases, and they're gonna hit. Prisoners from prison will have to pick vegetables. Look, Cooking with Billy, I'm gonna tell you right now, even the prison force, them brothers ain't gonna go for that, man. After what they pulled back a few years ago, having them out there fighting those wildfires. Yeah, saving California $100 million. And then some of the brothers, when they got out of prison, went and applied for the very same fire company and tried to apply. They couldn't get a job because they got a prison. They have a prison record. They said, "But we work for you." Yeah, that was a big tax and money saving tactic. So you think brothers gonna really get out there in those fields and pick? Nah, I don't see it happening. Good luck with that. Let me see. Everybody will cleave to Native America. Nah, everybody gonna cleave to the house of Judah, bro. That's what's gonna happen. Cooking with Billy. That's why everybody monitoring and measuring what we are doing or what we not doing. We're gonna prove it to you in about a hot second. Stick around. Let me see what's this talking. Yeah, you know what? I'm agree with you, Cooking with Billy. No more riding on Mexican labor either. I'll agree. I will agree with that. But the Most High gonna put in work for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Let's get that clear. Now, there's some of us out there who battle about who. Some don't believe the 12 tribes sign. Mexicans don't believe the Mexicans or anyone else is a part of that. But time is about to shoot. We're about to see in time. We're about to see who exactly are indeed the 12 tribes of Israel. One tribe that's definitely confirmed. Because everybody keep looking at what we doing, Black Americans. Okay? That's for sure. Let's move on. Salih bin Yah says, when the doo-doo goes down, the farmers and country boys will survive. City people will rob stores until the farm food and stores are gone. Africans like Venezuelans. Okay. The Lions Den should do a breakdown on the 62 cities of African Americans because not enough people are informed. Okay. Now, Salaya Benyam, let me go. When you say when the doo-doo goes down, the farmers and country boys will survive, I doubt that very serious, Salaya Benyam. This thing is going to be felt across the board. And also, don't forget that a lot of this land in America is being bought up and snatched up by one Bill Gates and company. And don't forget, these National Guardsmen and all that military crap is also coming down on these white folks in a hot minute too. Yeah, that's right. They got everybody in the crosshairs as they try to keep their power going. And if they got to knock off and sacrifice some of their own in the name of trying to keep their empire going, they gonna do just that. Okay? Now, let's keep the energy going. Run the video, seventh answer. Oh yeah, and fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Listen to this.
Okay, so I got the transcripts.
I want to play this audio for y'all. Just listen to this.
Okay, so I got the transcripts. Mitch, we have to bring slavery back. Those were the good old days. Kevin, how will we do that? There's no way we can do that. Mitch, black people won't do it, but white people will. Kevin, how will we get white people to be slaves? That sounds ridiculous. Mitch, we have to get rid of the separation of church and state. We must have state-funded religious schools. Kevin, I don't see where you're getting at. Mitch, those schools will have work programs for 4th through 8th graders. Kevin, I think I see where you're going here. How is that going to work? Mitch, we get the kids to pick all the produce as a part of their work program to teach them the values of good old-fashioned blue-collar labor and the bounty of God.
Now, hold on,
Kevin, I don't think that anyone will go for that. Mitch.
Hold on for a second. Now, for those of you that may not be up on who you're looking at Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell. Ooh, boy, two pieces of work. And this is an alleged conversation between these two in regards to what we're dealing with right now, and most notably trying to get at white folks. Get them poor whites out there doing that backbreaking work. This is an alleged conversation that a whistleblower leaked.
Shit, they was already farmers anyways. You bring them out here, they might as well continue to do their little duty. They was farmers. So
yeah, mule. Them, they lazy as all
they look
hell.
like they're ready though. They look like they're ready for that life too.
Yeah, all right. We'll see. Let's run the video, seventh answer.
They probably got a different way. They're from South Africa.
It's all about grooming. Start in the 1st grade, and by 4th grade, they'll be ready to do it. Kevin, but we already have people to pick the produce. Mitch, we have to finish the wall. Kevin, no way that's going to happen. Mitch, we find better ways to get the immigrants out of the United States. Kevin, like doubling ICE. Mitch, yes. Kevin, this will be too hard, and we'll be too busy trying to sustain this over long periods of time and generations. Mitch, no, we get rid of the abortion laws in the United States and we make it mandatory that all 8th grade females be impregnated in order to graduate. Kevin, like replacing the crops. Ha ha ha. Pun intended. Also, Kevin, I will work on getting the abortion ban. You work on state funded religious schools. Mitch, we don't have to do either. Lindsay and I took care of that with the new SCOTUS.
Yeah, that's a conversation that took place between Kevin McCarthy and Senator Mitch McConnell. All right, but now think about, and therefore, this is exactly why you do see now all the MAGites, all those white folks who was, oh, they down for Trump, and he had them all gassed up. They're cutting their legs off too.
And they
They're
trying to
looking,
drop the age consent, you know, and if they drop the age consent before this file come out, then most of them ain't gonna be held liable for being a pedophile. But yeah,
oh,
if they
oh,
get the age
oh, wow, seventh answer. Damn.
uh-huh. So it
Hmm.
worked
Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, you see why you need the Lions Den? You see why you need the seventh answer, Lady Karima, and our Dark Storm on the case? You see why we don't make time for foolishness and people want to compete? We ain't got time. We ain't here to compete with anybody. Okay? We are here to inform you, to give you the biblical spiritual rundown, like I said, without giving you a sermon. We're here to give you the heads up on what's coming, why it's coming, and who's doing it. He can't look. The Lord can't come fast enough for me. I know people say, "Well, the Bible does say, woe to those who desire the day of the Lord," because you don't know what's going. Look, I'm like this, man, and I mean this. I'm tired of waking up here in this scum of a land and scum of a society, and having these freaks and monkeys over me, and and all they doing is destroying everything they touch. And I'd rather be dead than to continue to live like this. And I mean that. Straight up and down. We've done enough time in this year, man. Our time is up, man. No more days like this. And you got the coon brigade out here that and some of them and some Negroes that would want this society to go on for another 400 years. But no. We want, there are many of us, we want our freedom. We want what's ours now. And we ain't taking no more back seats and everything else. And for all the wicked of our people who think they're going to get in league with the devil and think they're going to eat good while selling us, while they think we going to just let it go and coast, you're in for a rude awakening. As the good Lord said in the book of Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, verse 19, look, I'm going to send fishers first. And they're going to fish, they're going to talk, and they're going to appeal. But after, I'm going to send hunters. Now, let's check out what white folks are saying about us. Okay? Just check out the pulse of America worrying about what we doing. And you got African common content creators who obviously are listening to our voices, and others. But look, I know I will work when I hear it. And some of y'all who've been long time listeners, you'll know, you'll recognize it too. But again, I'm flattered. And it's an honor to know that the Lion's Den is jumping. It's an honor to have come aboard some years ago. And here it is now, all these years later, with Lady Karima at the helm, We bumping. We so look. Matter of fact, we bumping so much. Shout out to A&E. We went so hard and so heavy. They got mad in their fifis and blocked us because we outshine them on using their own shit. Excuse my language. I'm just saying. But it's what we do. It's the talent the good Lord gave us. So now with that being said, listen up, y'all. Fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Have the most powerful voice. Okay? You built this country. Okay? Everyone knows it. All right? And granted you did it mostly against your will, but you fucking did it. Okay? And then you broke the chains of the oppressors, okay? And we need you guys to take that expertise and show this country that it's being evil again.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. I'm starting to see a lot of white people on this app start asking black people for help. Now, before you ask us for help, I need you to check your metrics. When is the last time you used your privilege to help out a black person? When is the last time you had a black friend? Have you ever had a black friend? Matter of fact, how many black people do you know? And I'm not talking about that one kid that you knew in school back when you integrated. Check your metrics. Now, based on your metrics, would you step in to help you?
Did y'all see the video with the white man asking black people to step up and save America? Excuse me, sir. Didn't we try to sound the alarm and tell y'all that the competition that happened in November of last year, if you voted for the wrong person, what was going to happen? See, black people are the originators of all skin folk and kinfolk. We know that just because somebody look like you doesn't mean they have your best interests. So y'all, now your livelihood is affected, your business is affected, your family are affected. So now y'all are concerned and scared and worried and want us to step up and save y'all. And you know what's going to happen right after we save y'all? I mean, do we look like the Black Avengers? Right after we save y'all, y'all gonna go back to doing the same thing? So absolutely not. This is the consequences of your actions, and y'all are gonna have to sit with it. In the black community, there's a saying that I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard: you will be okay once the swelling goes down.
YT, man, got on the internet. Hey, black men, stand up. Help. Well, we been standing. Oh, we been good. We good. We good. No. You want to know why we would never help you? Okay. Redlining. You want me to keep going? Mass incarceration. You want me to keep going? War on drugs. You want me to keep going? The war on families. You want me to keep going? COINTELPRO. You want me to keep going? Okay. Let's go there. Tamir Rice. You want me to keep going? Henrietta Lacks. You want me to keep going? Malcolm. You want me to keep going? King. You want me to keep going? Asada Shakur. You want me to keep going? Tupac Shakur. West Side to Best Side. You want me to keep going? Tasteism in the medical field. You want me to keep going? Tasteism in the education field. You want me to keep going? Police brutality. You want me to keep going? Tasteism in criminal justice. You want me to keep going? Because I can keep going. Tulsa. You want me to keep going? Rosewood. You want me to keep going? Nah, you don't want me to keep going. Go ask the other folks. They might help. Go ask the other ones. They'll help. Go ask the other people. Just don't ask the black men. I know we the kings.
Guys, the white people are now begging black people for help. They are worried about the black silence because they see black people are not doing anything. about the things that are happening in the country rather than they are just watching in silence. And the white community is telling and begging the black people to at least stand up, rise, and help them fight this administration. Help them because they know that the black people are the most resilient people. When they decide to unite and stand up for their rights and stand up to fight, they are real fighters. But now the black people have another message for them. They are saying, do you know who are the most affected people in this community when it comes to matters of police brutality? The black people. Do you know who it affects the most when it comes to systemic oppression? The black people. Do you know what happened to black people when they decide to protest? They are being shot. Pew pew. Do you know how these people are using black folks as their human shield? Yes, you know it. So this time round, this is not our fight. We are not joining you to fight for what's yours because we told you that these things were going to happen, but you didn't want to listen. And now you are here busy begging us for your help. Whoa, whoa, hell no. Stop. We are not offering you any help. Yes, this is what the black people had to tell these white folks after they heard that these same white people who are oppressing them, they are begging for their help. Let's watch this video together, guys, of what these black folks had to tell these white people begging for help, and then I will be giving my commentaries at the end.
If they don't have nothing else in this life, they're going to have the unmitigated gall, audacity, the caucasity to ask us to come out and fight their battles after they have created this environment, okay? After they have created this whiteness and white insecurity, maskiness, white supremacy, after they have benefited from those systems, they have the unmitigated gall, the caucasity, the audacity to ask black men and women to come and save them. The unmitigated gall, the caucasity to say, we need you. We need y'all to come and fix this. Why would y'all need us to come and fix the racist BS that y'all voted for? How would you fix your no lips, thin lips selves to ask for us to come and fix the very system that y'all created to disenfranchise us? That is pure crazy to me. The disrespect. Talking about it's unfair. No, it's not unfair. It's bad shit crazy for you to fix your no lip having self to get on Beyonce's internet to beg for black men to come out and fix what y'all have created for centuries and centuries. And it's not just black women. Y'all been looking for us since the protests. Where the black people at? Well, we told y'all we was going to be at. What our ancestors told us to do. Sit down, be quiet, and mind our business. And then here y'all go yet again, trying to call us out. We need y'all to save us. Y'all have never repaired. No reparations. No, not even a apology for what y'all have done to us for generation after generation after generation, centuries and centuries of mass white violence against us. But then on the same goddamn token, on the flip side, you have the unmitigated gall, caucasity to ask us to save you. 300,000 black women lost their jobs in the first half of this damn year in this country that they were overqualified for. 100,000 black women and children are missing in this country. Black men are being strange fruited in this country. There's an occupation in Washington, D.C. in this country, targeting black people. They're going into our museums trying to whitewash the history, and then y'all have the unmitigated gall, caucasity to ask us to come and save you. When is our turn? When is it our turn for somebody to do something? to help our community. But y'all have no problem asking us to save you time and time again. Do you not understand how crazy that is? How disrespectful that is? How you still are moving in white insecurity, masculine supremacy, thinking that it's our job to save you when y'all constantly are targeting us. It's the audacity for me.
Ha! Now look at this white dude out here begging black men to save America. And I gotta laugh, man. America needs us. The same country that built itself on our labor, our sweat, our blood. Now they want us to save it. Sure. Let me drop everything and help y'all clean up again while y'all sit back and watch. He says you're the only people who can speak the truth. A word? Same folks who spent centuries saying black people have a lower IQ now want us to be the country's moral compass. According to them, we're too stupid to do anything else, but apparently smart enough to fix America. Makes sense if your goal is to insult us while begging for help. And this isn't even new. A couple of months ago, the Hispanic community was yelling at black Americans to stand with them at ICE rallies. And before that, during COVID, some of the Asian community used black Americans as the face of anti-Asian hate propaganda to push a bill. And real talk for real, there wasn't any large-scale attacks by black people against Asians. A few isolated incidents got blown up on the news. Neighborhoods never saw it happening, but we got made the scapegoats to push legislation. Meanwhile, white violence and targeted invasions, total silence. And now this same energy is back, calling on black men to save the country again. Classic. Weaponized white guilt? Okay. Centuries of oppression equals new superpower for white folks. Cool. I'll just put on my cape, be morally superior, and save America. No problem. We need you to stop the evil. Nah, bro. We're too busy surviving, protecting our families, and running our communities to be able to babysit your mess. So yeah, I appreciate the invite, white dude, but we're going to have to pass on that. We got enough to do. Keeping ourselves alive, keeping our families safe, and running our communities. And let's be for real, man. Let's be for real. Everyone in the world knows the only thing that's going to save America is cutting those reparations checks to foundational black Americans. And if you're not talking that, then you actually don't want to save America. You'd rather see the whole thing crumble than do right by us. So y'all handle y'all's own mess, because we've got bigger priorities.
Part 2 on why niggas need to stay their ass in the house while ICE go do their thing. America is always in competition. What do you think the term racism comes from? It comes from race. So different cultures of people are racing for economic gains, and they all have one common interest, which is to block your black ass out of resources. And some of these races and cultures are economic refugees, meaning they came from a failed country or a failed island, and now they're here looking for opportunity and benefits. Nigga, we are not economic refugees. We not refugees. Some of us came from Africa, and majority of us are from this bitch as aboriginals. Nigga, we looking for reparations. And watch how quiet these other groups of people get when we start talking about reparations. Watch how quiet a Mexican get when we start talking about niggas are owed reparations. Watch how quiet a Caribbean or immigrant gets when we start talking about reparations. Watch how quiet a white person gets when they get really quiet when we start talking about reparations. Right, because all our agendas are different. You think they want to see you with a bankroll in your pocket, nigga? Fuck no. Yeah, nigga, don't feel bad. This ain't the same group of Mexicans from back in the day. This ain't Vicente Guerrero and them boys. This ain't John Horse, nigga. Them niggas, the Mexicans from back in the day was niggas. See what I'm saying? Look like this. This ain't the same kind of Mexicans. These niggas here, this is a whole different culture. They got a whole different ideology. They think that they're white. So don't feel bad for these niggas. I don't know when the fuck y'all became so damn friendly. But anyways, y'all boys.
Exactly. That is the message that these black people are passing to these white people who are literally busy begging for help after they know very well that they are the ones who made a mistake in November. They voted for this oppressive regime. They voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly, knowing very well that he will impose tariffs that will start affecting them in the coming few months, knowing very well that he will enforce ICE raids that will literally freeze and detain their workers who are busy making them millions, not to mention billions, who are busy working in their farms. Now, they don't have these immigrants who are to work and help them make millions. Some of them are filing for bankruptcy. And now, since they've discovered that they made a mistake at the ballot box, they are busy begging the black people to help them. And yet, the black people warned them that these things were going to happen, but they didn't want to listen. They knew very well that Donald Trump will make them file for bankruptcy, but yet they went ahead and voted for them. And now they are telling the black people, we understand that we are the most resilient group in our community. We know what you are a force to reckon. You are people who they decide to do things, they do things wholeheartedly with unity. Please, we beg you to come and help us. Help us fight this regime. Help us fight Trump. Trump is finishing us. Trump is locking down a country, making us white people poor and poor every day. But do you know what the black people are telling them? No. Enough of the human shield. We are not providing you a shoulder to lean on. We are not giving you help because you could have helped yourself on the ballot box on November by voting for the right person who was to lead this country to the right direction and make it great again. But now you voted for someone who is literally making America worse again, who is not putting America first, but rather putting America last. And now, after you are starting to receive the fruits of your labor, you've started experiencing the consequences of your votes. You are now you are now begging for help? Hell no. This is not literally happening. After you've started eating your own humble pie, it's now that you've opened your eyes and realized that you made a mistake at the ballot, and you need to correct some of the mistakes that you made at the ballot by asking the black community for your help, for their help. No, this cannot happen. So the black people have decided this is not their fight. They will sit back, watch in silence, and let the white folks suffer the fruits of their labor and experience the consequences of their actions. But I think the black people are making a very good decision. But what do you think, guys? Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Let's have a discussion and see you in the next.
Yeah. Look at that. Biblical prophecy coming to pass. Isaiah 14:1 said that in these last days, everybody gonna cleave to the house of Judah. They're gonna cleave to us. That's right. But you know what? We're not saving nobody but ourselves now. All that jumping out there caping for everybody else, no, that's over with. See, they got to go. Hold on for a second, you all. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. See, they want their free. See, you white folks, you want your freedom. Now, I'm going to, my sister in faith, Deborah, did a very beautiful breakdown. I'm going to actually bring that for y'all to hear. Because she said that when white folks say freedom, you got to pay attention to what they're really saying. When you look at the word freedom, she spelled it FRE-EDOM. Free Edom. Shout out to Sister Deborah of Proverbs 31. Your lecture was brilliant. I never, in all my living, and I've been looking at that word. I never considered that. These white folks, they want to be free, eat them. They want to be free from their penance and what they got, their penalties on what they got coming. No, no, you all have a lot to pay for, so you might as well get ready. The same way we pay for our fathers' evils, and you show no mercy. The Lord let y'all ride. It sometimes make me. I sometimes wonder, you know, His nature, but He let it all. He let all that y'all did to us ride, even now. But now there's retribution coming now. But like the sister said, you got a lot of nerve to want us to now save you, but here it is, you're shooting and killing us still like it's going out of style, voting down reparations and anything that we need. Nah, man. No more free rides. No more getting over on us like a fat rat. That's over with. Okay, we're gonna keep the energy going. And the fact of the matter is, right? Look at all these other people. Like I said, sounding exactly like us. And look how they're saying it. Look at all the black people. Look at how the black people, not our people, the black people. See, even him.
Yeah, I
They
was just
know.
noticing how you said that. The black people. They keep saying the black people, like yo ass.
Yeah, you see what they know, and it's okay. They listen to the Lions Den. I know I will work when I hear it, but it's okay. The Bible did say it was going to be like this, and it's good. It's good. Our time is now. We're the children of Israel, and Trump and company and all your FBI, CIA, and intelligence agencies that's listening to the Lions Den right now. Our brother Malachi, along with Sister Karima, we are saying in the name of the Lord, the one true God, Yahweh. Some say Yah. Some say Elohim, or what have you. But in the name of the one true God, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, we are saying to you, let our people go so we may serve our God. He wants you to know that. And if you don't let us go, and you go hard in your heart, then brace yourself for some serious butt whoopings. Run the video, Karima.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president.
My friend who's retired, I believe she's 67 now, just got her Medicare Advantage premium details for next year. And her out-of-pocket maximum expense went from $4,200 a year to over $10,000. So if she has some kind of emergency where she requires hospitalization or emergency room care on a retiree's income, she gets.
I'm Sora 2, the new AI in town.
We're not afraid. Artlist got them all.
To $10,200. This is Republican policy. She lives in the state of Indiana. And this is what all the cuts to everything are doing, all the budget cuts to every state. And these are the decisions each state is making individually on what's going to be cut, who's going to have to pay more. And people think that there's going to be an end to this shutdown. You've got Caroline Levitt lying, Donald Trump lying about all these people not getting paid, all of these layoffs. They don't give a rat's ass about layoffs. If they did, they would have cared about the 280,000 federal workers who lost their job because the guy who runs X and his little 19-year-olds wanted to give so much more money to the billionaire class in tax cuts that they just stuck it to all of us. They didn't care about those 280,000 employees, former employees. And now we're coming up to nearly 1 million Americans laid off because of the tariffs, because of all the funding cuts, because of all the deportations. Almost 1 million employees. They don't care about them. They don't care about them. And to think that Republicans actually believe this administration cares about the government workers being furloughed right now over this shutdown thing. Macro view. Project 2025 wants the Affordable Care Act completely dismantled. They're gutting it. This is on their way to doing that. Once it's gutted, there'll be no more government subsidies for any of us, meaning our tax dollars being pooled collectively and then dispersed to bring down our healthcare costs. No, instead, they're going to privatize everything. So their cronies are going to make a shit ton of money, starting companies that can fill the need or just giving contracts to the companies that already exist, all those MAGA donors. And nothing will be for us. Everything will be out of pocket. We are fucked. So this shutdown is not going to end because Republicans care about people being laid off or because they care about how much we're going to be paying for health care. So there you go. In the meanwhile, look for all your premium hikes next year. And now foreclosures, it was just announced, foreclosures are at an all-time high because people can't afford to live in their homes. It's all coming together swimmingly.
You see, when I was growing up as a kid, as a teenager, when I was in school, let me say that, in primary 1, primary 2, secondary, we had this one stereotype that a white person cannot have problems. A white person cannot cry, cannot go hungry, cannot lack money. That's what we were thinking here, back here in the motherland. For example, to be precise, in Kenya. Okay? And this is why they told the world that they have built heaven on earth, and we believed. They told everyone else to work harder, to imitate their system, and to follow their model. And that's why every time, even in school, our teachers were telling us that study hard so that you can go to America. Study hard, you can go to France, you can go to England. So we were like trying to perform well in school so that we can be like white people, But right now, the same system is turning against their own. The system that told us that we are nothing is again turning to their own, and their own feel the same things that we were feeling, the pains, going hungry, walking barefoot, sleeping, The empire they worshipped is eating its own children right now. And for the first time in modern history, white people are breaking down in fear, are breaking down in confusion, are breaking down into realization. Okay? Family, I hope you are doing okay. Before I go into my video, I greet you with power, I greet you in truth, I greet you with love, because right today, I'm going to speak about the greatest irony in modern civilization. I know we all know that, but let's bring this in the limelight. How the very system that claimed to save the world is now collapsing under its own weight. Okay? So before I go down in the video, I've prepared some clips here. I want you to watch them from different people, white people, regretting, crying, and breaking down because we want to know why. After watching these clips, let's continue watching because I have more and more to tell you.
This is a message for my white lady friends. Everybody else can keep going. Ladies, now is not the time to crash out on this app, okay? I've seen 4 videos this morning of white ladies crying on this app and saying it's too much and they can't handle it. I know, okay? I know, I feel you. This is really hard. Communities of color have been warning us about exactly what is happening. Okay, you might not have processed that this was gonna happen, but they have. They've been processing it, they've been seeing it, and they've been trying to get our attention. We have not really been listening. If you're feeling like you're crashing out right now, you need to focus on yourself a little bit because you can't help if you're not focused on taking care of your own mental and physical wellness, okay? So you need to, if you're freaking out and you're like, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know what to do right now, you need to hydrate, okay? You need to eat healthy food. You need to take a walk. You need to develop a meditation or prayer practice that helps provide you some calm and some grounding. You are not going to be any help if you are just spinning out. If you have ever posted a black square, okay, or if you have been talking about how you want to wear a blue bracelet to show you're one of the good ones, the first thing you need to do is like get your own house in order.
For everybody that is in LA and feeling frozen with fear and sadness because of these ICE raids, how can we help? Like, it's devastating to see these people's families ripped apart. It's devastating to see people being violent. It's devastating to see all the military vehicles around the entire city. It's devastating to drive down the street and see nobody on the road. Like, I have a loud mouth, I'm protesting, but like, what else can we do to help? Like, if you're one of my followers, I know there's a few of you in here that are close to what's going on, but please reach out to me and tell me that you're okay, because I want to help somehow. There are many people out here that want to help and we don't know what to do. Let us know how we can help you. It's just fucking terrible. Like, if you're a person that voted for Trump, how can you be okay with this? How can you be okay with having a president that creates chaos? In the meantime, they're shipping tanks and all these military vehicles to Washington, D.C. for his stupid parade.
Oh, yo, you get no sympathy from me. None. I don't care. Oh, see, hence the seventh answer, and we came up with the title, The Pork and the Confessions. First, we gave you all the piggy. Okay, and now listen to all the confessions. Oh, this is a beautiful time in history. That's my word. When the Most High said that the best laugh is the last laugh, he wasn't lying. Oh, I'm having a ball. And they need to cry. And you only look, y'all only begun to cry. What y'all got coming? Man, yo. Hey, it is what it is. But you reap what you sow, and what you sow, what you reap. And Salaya Ben Yah, yeah, I can tell. Some of these people have been studying the Lion's Den. You better believe that. I can see the format, everything. Some of the words, unintimated and all that. I know how it works, but it's a compliment. And when you got A&E clocking us, you know you successful. You know that you're stepping up. we know we definitely being watched now more than ever. All right, run the video. Seventh answer. Run the video.
Next Saturday. Like, this is insane, you guys. This is the United States of America. This is supposed to be the land of the free, and this is not free.
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new.
Nigga.
Between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my daughter. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. And then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Fucking everything's expensive. I own a painting company. I still can't fucking make it. I'm fucking trying, man.
Did you guys see the video of that white T man who he's like crying because he's like, it's so hard to make it. I'm trying. I'm a disappointment to my wife and it's so hard. And then he's like, we should all come together. I don't care whether you're black, white, we should all come together. Oh, I get it. So now it's switching and the curses are like coming on you guys, and you guys are experiencing what Black Americans, the children of Israel, the real Jews from the same tribe as Jesus Christ, have been experiencing for centuries, right? So you guys were okay as long as you guys were ahead of us. You guys were fine. You guys lived in perfect YT Jesus heaven on this earth, and everything was fine, and you were above the NIGGAs, right? So when you had your stature and your position, everything was fine. Now that it's switching, right? Because the Most High is propelling the real people, right? Now it's like, oh, let's come together, and you're crying, and it's us. Oh, so now it's us at the bottom versus them at the top, right? But you guys were in cahoots with those at the top because they look like you, right? And they gave, yeah, sure, you might haven't had as much as the people at the top, your people at the top have had, but you've had still tremendously amounts more than black people at the bottom. So now you guys see your reality. It's not what it once was. Your YT card is it hasn't been accepted. It hasn't, that YT card, it's not working how it used to when you try to swipe it. It's not. You know what I mean? So now it's like, oh, now let's all come together and we're in this together and it's us against. No. Mm-mm. You can miss me with that. No. Any kingdom, there's people at the top and there's people at the bottom, right? So now black people, black Americans, and throughout the African diaspora, right? We're gonna be at the top. You guys are gonna be at the bottom now. This is how, in case you haven't realized, this is how this works. This is how this works. This is how you guys' kingdom worked. This is how it worked, right? So now it's with the first shot. See, y'all say y'all believe in the Bible, but at the end of the day, like, y'all always ignore that scripture. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. White team people, weren't you guys at the top? Right? And we've been last. So now God says that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. This isn't the first figures out that the last are going to be first, and now the first want to come together now with the last. See, y'all just manipulate and do things because at the end of the day, y'all just want to be where the stuff is at because you guys are the fleshly people. You guys are the fleshly people. So wherever the stuff, y'all don't care about nothing else, right? As long as you guys enjoying your blessings and the stuff, that's where y'all want to be at. Okay, that's fine, right? I mean, you guys sold your freaking birthright for a bowl of soup, right? Some chicken tenders, You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau. That's what the white T man did. He sold his entire birthright for flesh. That scripture is symbolic that they are the fleshly people. You know what I mean? So no, this isn't money to waters, right? See that you guys are becoming undone. Now it's like, oh snap! Now let's get under them. Like no, y'all keep playing with the Most High like the Most High is stupid, and it's like, buddy, dude, get it together, dude. Get it together. You guys had your turn. What you are best doing is accepting your fate, just accepting your position, and cleaving to the real children of Israel, right? Like this dude, literally, he was crying. Like this white T man was crying his eyes out. Like, oh yeah, my family, and I'm a disappointment, and this. Find the video; it's online. It's like, nah, you guys are seeing what's happening now, right? Seeing that the devil lied to y'all. He lied to everybody, but he lied to y'all. He made y'all think y'all was something that y'all wasn't by exporting fake YT Jesus all over earth. He did that. Don't blame us. Don't blame us.
Hey everyone, well, I am stopping by the grocery store to pick up a few things, and I just want to spend a moment talking about the affordability crisis because right now the cost of living is completely out of control, and we know that things are only going to get worse with all of these tariffs that the president is putting out there. And let's all be real. I think we all know that the president probably hasn't been shopping in a while, if ever. And so he has no idea what he's doing and how it's impacting the American people. And all you have to do is go grocery shopping and see what's going on. I mean, the cost of eggs, the cost of milk, everything is sky high right now. And I mean, we're talking about everything. We're talking about the cost of our utilities, the cost of housing. And on top of that, they're talking about cutting basic programs that help our people. We're talking about programs that help you pay your bills, like LIHEAP, which helps with heating costs. We're talking about Medicaid that helps with healthcare costs. We're talking about SNAP benefits that help you actually go grocery shopping. We're talking about housing programs that help our low-income families, and they're attacking programs that you spent your whole life actually paying into, like Social Security. And so I think we're at a potential crisis moment for the cost of living. And I mean, guys, look, this is the cost of eggs right now. I mean, this is outrageous. This is at my neighborhood grocery store in Albuquerque, $8.49 a carton. $12.49 in the carton next to it. I mean, we have to do something. So it's so important that we continue to have our voices heard, that we continue to speak up, speak out, speak against what's happening, make sure that our representatives know that the affordability crisis is real. We need to be investing in affordable housing. We need to be supporting families who need extra help. We need to be addressing the cost of living in our groceries, not supporting ridiculous tariffs that are just going to make things worse. So we are fighting for our people, fighting to protect these vital programs and to ensure that all of us can afford to live in this great country of ours and continue to support our families. So I will see you all later. I'm going to go get some more groceries, and I love you all, and I'll see you soon.
Brethren, the Western world for centuries, like America and Europe, they painted themselves as the guardians of progress. And they told everyone that, for example, they told black people and other communities that they are the most advanced societies in the earth. They said their economy model was perfect, their culture was superior, and their system were the destiny of all humanity. But something is happening. Right now, the records tells a different story. Okay? Inflation is rising faster than wages. Homelessness is visible in every corner in their countries. Debt has become a lifestyle. Personally, I never knew that white people could protest. Why would they protest and they have everything perfect? I never knew that. But right now we are seeing white folks protesting. Our brothers and sisters are protesting each and every corner. Why? Why? Because things are not going okay. The system has turned against them. Because they didn't build a system of prosperity, but they built a system of control. Because a system that feeds off others A system that feeds off others until there's nothing to left, it will start feeding on their own. For years, the Western economy thrived by exploitation from African minerals. The economy of the Western countries thrived because of the Asians' labor, because of Latin America's resources. But right now, that the rest of the world is waking up, the rest of the world is saying no more exploitation. Now the Western machine has lost its fuel. Okay? It has lost its fuel, and they don't know how to survive without exploitation anymore. And that's why all the privileges have gone down. So when the privileges go down, they start realizing what black people are going through. When the fuel goes down, now white people right now are living the world that black people lived for 400 years. In Africa, let me not say all Africa. For example, in Kenya, in my area town, you could hear people have gone, because we believed people go with 3 meals a day, but you could hear people going with only 1 meal a day, and that's only night. So as black people, as Africans, we were surviving, we were not living, and this was the consequences of colonization. They left scars and poverty to our countries. But right now, even white people themselves, they are living how we were living. They are lacking school fees, they are lacking food, they are living outside. They laughed at Africans saying that we are living in wilderness, in forest, that we have built our houses on top of trees. But right now, even white people are sleeping outside because they can't pay rent anymore. You see? So you can never keep pretending forever that debt is wealth. No. You can't. You can never pretend forever that dominance is freedom and that privilege is happiness. Sooner or later, the illusion cracks. For example, in South Africa, the white South Africa had privilege over black South Africans. But when black South Africans took power, everything became equal because black people did not revenge. But white people could not stand seeing that they are being led by a white person. They could not stand sharing equal rights with black people. Okay? And you see it in their eyes right now. You can hear it in their voices. A generation raised to believe in the dream is now waking up to a nightmare. White Americans are facing eviction notices. Europeans are losing power in their own countries. The dollar is trembling. The world is de-dollarizing. And the military system that once ruled the planet is being reduced to begging its citizens to trust the process. But the people don't trust anymore. Their people don't trust anymore because the dream has betrayed them. Okay? We have some reverse policies and karma in action that's happening right now because for decades the West used policies to control others. They used sanctions, they used trade restrictions and debt traps. They call it foreign policy. But what we are seeing right now is a reverse policy karma. Okay? Now, how? They once say that they'll punish countries that they don't comply. For example, when South Africa was going with the, US put sanctions on South Africa. So that's punishing because that country do not obey. And now they're punishing themselves. Okay? They banned Russian oil. Now they're freezing in winter. They sanctioned foreign factories and now they can't produce anything domestically. They chase cheap labor overseas. And now their own youths have no jobs. So every action has a repercussion. Every imbalance corrects itself in time. You can't build a global economy based on greed and expect peace at home. No. It's poetic justice. Not because we celebrate their suffering, but because truth always comes full circle. So the same Western governments that once bragged about their strong economies are now struggling to feed their people. The same nations that mocked Africa for instability are now facing riots, are now facing food shortages, are now facing leadership chaos. Okay? It's no longer an African issue. And it's no longer African asking aid. The West are asking for patience too. So reverse policies are hitting hard because the world has changed. Africa, Asia, and global South have started building their own trade alliances, have started building their own currencies and other own future without Western approval. So when the West tries to
And
flex in
hold
power,
on. Now,
there's nothing left
everybody
doing
who's still
it.
listening, hold on. Now, for all my night owls who are listening, yo, you hear what he just said? That all the other nations now are here, there, and they're doing their own thing and they're backing up off of America. What does the book of Obadiah say about what will happen to Edom? These so-called white folks, that's right. There ain't no mystery Arab, no. These people are Edom. In the book of Obadiah, it said the men of your confederacy, those who you thought were down with you, will start to abandon you when you start to fall. You heard what he just said, right? Biblical prophecy unraveling at its finest, baby. And this is our time. Unapologetically, we the children of Israel, unapologetically, okay? This is our time. And those of you that still want to be slaves and you want to still be Stephen from Django and Buck Dance, man, yo, that's fine. It's fine. The Lord gonna deal with everything and everybody now. I'm doing the best that I can to be a moral man. All right, Seventh Answer, she doing her thing as a moral woman. But I ain't gonna lie and say I'm not scared, because I am. I am. I see the shift, man. Hey, yo, it's one thing, I'm always say, it's one thing to read the Bible, but now to see it happening before your very eyes. It's a whole other experience. As the conversation continues, we want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. For those of you out there riding with us right about now, in the midnight hour, thank you. For those of you that's riding on, the 8 o'clock, your 8 o'clock or your 9 o'clock, depending on where you're at, thank you. And those of you who are overseas, going into the evening or in the morning, thank you for riding with us and allowing us to come into your homes. The conversation continues. The pork and the confessions. Let's keep the energy going, Seventh Answer. Let's give them some more before we close out.
You can't dominate anything. Okay? All this privilege they were like, oh, we have privilege. It was only illusion. It was illusion of privilege. Because for generation, the Western system convinced white citizens that they are better, okay? That they are safe, that they'll never suffer like others. We were being called others. So that was the foundation of the illusion, the myth of privilege. And it worked. It worked for centuries. Because if you keep one group believing that they are above struggle, they will never question who is controlling them. But when the system collapses, that illusion becomes a curse. But right now, the same white middle class that once looked down on others are realizing that they were never the owners, that they were just better paid slaves, and better slaves living in a better houses. They are realizing that their loyalty to the system didn't buy them protection, but it bought them silence. Now, think about it. Think about this for a moment. They defended capitalism like it was religion. They believed the government cared about their prosperity, and they trusted the same politician who shipped their jobs overseas. And now, what's happening right now? They are standing in unemployment lines. They are crying about rent. They are realizing that the system doesn't care what color you are. When you don't do something for the system doesn't care about you anymore. So it was the illusion of privilege. And this illusion of privilege is breaking. And for the first time, white people are feeling what it means to be disposable in their own system. Allow me to say, white people are the new blacks of today. Are the new black people. As we say, Africa, African dream is the new American dream. Okay? Now, white people are seeing what black people have seen. I always say this. Black people have lived on this movie. We have watched with this movie. Not again watching, not only watching, but we have acted in this movie. We have been villains and we have been starrings on these movies. So we are the movie. We have lived it for centuries. And right now is the time that white people are living in this movie. So it is hard on them. You waking up as a kid, a rich kid, and then your fathers, for example, in Kenya right now, Raila Odinga has died. And we all call him Baba. Baba in English is father. He was father of everyone. He was father of democracy in Kenya. Now, when he has died once, that's now Kenyans will start living a reality where there's no one fighting for them again. Because we were in comfort zone. We had the privilege of having this one man, Raila Odinga, fighting for us. And now it's no more. What else? Back to the drawing board. Now we are starting to say, okay, where can we switch on? Where can we switch off? Okay, oh, mama, what will I do? Now, it is confusing. You are crying. You are not crying because this guy is your father, but you are crying because you don't know where the government will go next. And that's what white people are going through right now. The privilege has gone down. Africa is rising. Black people are saying no more. We are starting loving ourselves. We're starting having confidence in our own. So right now, black people are not thinking like white people are the gods again. Because back then we are seeing white people and we are like, oh, Mzungu. And we are like, we want to touch him. This is God. But right now, there's no God. We know we are the gods. As a black man, you know you are the God. Black women have started realizing their worth. They are not again used as tools and objects. So the privilege is down. Now what next? What next? They had comfort, they had illusion, but they never had freedom. Now, because freedom built on oppression is not real, it is borrowed time, okay? And that time has expired. It has expired. Now, I talk about the death of American dream because the phrase American dream once impressed with men, even us black people, we are embracing it. And it was once echoed through every movie, every classroom, every campaign speech. It was a promise that anyone, okay, no matter where you came from, you could climb to the top when you work hard and study hard, you could climb to the ladder. But that American dream was not for everyone. Even white people, that American dream was not there. The dream was never about freedom. The dream was just about participation in a system that polarized or in a system that profited from endless work. Okay? So they called it opportunity, but when you look closer, it was not an opportunity. It was it was something engineered it was an engineered exhaustion, you know, like a worker chasing bees is easier to control than a thinker chasing truth. American dream could never let you create. They just tell you, study hard, work hard. Now, what made this American dream not work? Because when they tell you study hard, your brain is there. I want to study hard. I want to get papers and go somewhere. And then they give
Okay,
you
that's enough of that. But
then when you have debt,
you get the idea, yeah. What
when you
made
finish
this
that
dream
study, you
work?
go and
You can cut him. What made the dream work? Our labor, our ingenuity, what we contributed while in this prison sentence. But now all that's up. All that's now being revoked. And they're doing everything they can to try to keep it. But it's over. It's just that simple. You reap what you sow, what you reap. For all you white folks listening out here, your forefathers and mothers have doomed you. They have. And you, their children, some of you've hardened your hearts just like your forefathers and mothers. Go on ahead. But the time for your being in this driver's seat is up, and our time for re-election, the children of Israel, to be put back in is in full effect and full sway. No matter what you try and do. Now, let's keep the energy going. Seventh answer, let's move on. Or can I get one more? We coming up on the third 3-hour time, but I just got to get one more in. Let's get one more video, and the conversation will continue. You all, don't worry. We're gonna give you one more or two more, depending on, because I really am hyped, but I don't want to be greedy. So let's get the next video up, and we're gonna probably close out, maybe. But you have to forgive me for laughing, but I can't help but laugh. Because here it is, right? When we appealed to you, when we appealed to these maggers out here, and y'all listening, we know y'all. No, y'all preferred to hear Charlie Kirk. Y'all preferred to hear Rush Limbaugh. Y'all preferred to hear all these racists out here, the Glenn Becks. Yeah, that's right. Everybody throughout the years, you chose to hear them versus what we had to say. Well, I'm going to say, quit your belly aching. Like y'all tell her, stop the crying. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Ain't no free ride here. There's no free lunch here. You have to make it on your merit. Yeah. Now, how does that feel? Huh? How does that feel? Well, anyway, the pork and the confessions. Let us move on. And listen to this now. Oh, man.
Mostly for their own safety. And the thing that I have to say about that is, first of all, I completely understand why they didn't physically show up to the protests.
Black Women's Project 2025 is to rest. We've done all we can. We've done all we can. I said in my last video that community is the answer.
We have marched, we have screamed, we have cried. But do you know what truly terrifies white America? When black people go silent, not quiet out of fear, but quiet like strategy, quiet like a storm loading.
I replied, this comment is entirely false in every regard. You're a white person who categorizes yourself as a commie. So obviously you think that protests are only effective if black people are there to be under the tank treads, right? You think that it's only a real protest if black people and the cops are there and the black folks are being brutalized by the police. This tells me all I need to know about you. Tankies want their fantasy of a bloody revolution.
Sora 2 video generation is
reference here, but they don't want a LARP revolution. They want to FLARP it. They want fatal live action role play, and they want the most vulnerable folks in the community to be sacrificed, to be brutalized, because they think it will bring about their authoritarian communist utopia. When I say that white tankies, white communists are not safe and that they want authoritarianism, they just want their own flavor of it. They don't actually want liberation. They don't actually care about the most vulnerable. They don't actually care about injustice. They just care about their fantasy. This is exactly what I...
Just a reminder to my fellow white people, you are not an ally if black men and black women are telling you that they are not going to protest on it because it will put their lives in harm's way, and you throw a tantrum saying, oh, we all have to work together. Shouldn't we all come together, we the people? Don't you care about the future, about the children, about... The time to come together was at the election. We failed them. So now Their rest is their resistance, and they are staying home and staying safe as they should, because their lives are too precious to put on the line. And what would cost me and people who look like me getting yelled at, or at the worst tear gas, which isn't likely, would cost them their physical lives. And they've already been giving those lives for centuries in this country for all the rights that we enjoy. So it is our turn.
I made a video talking about the problems with Gen Z not being involved in the protests that happened. And in addition to that, it's especially worrying because of this trend of Gen Z being more conservative than millennials. And in response to that, I got a couple of comments along these lines referring to the fact that Black women mostly didn't show up to the protests, but they did so mostly for their own safety. And the thing that I have to say about that is, first of all, I completely understand why they didn't physically show up to the protests. No, they shouldn't have to. But I want to be so absolutely clear with everyone that just because Black women were not at the protests does not mean that they weren't involved. Because my friend and I are both comment on political topics like this, and we live streamed the entire protests. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that the majority of people watching and commenting on those protest videos were Black women. The Black women that didn't go to the protests for, mind you, safety reasons, because police tend to treat people who are protesting while you're being a person of color much differently. Black women still stayed informed, stayed engaged, and showed support and solidarity with the people who were out there protesting. So I hope that clears some things up. The issue on Gen Z not being as progressive as millennials and not showing up, I kind of view that as a separate issue. And if you are a Black woman, yeah, that doesn't apply to you for not showing up. But I do think that it's still something that we should all be more aware of, that Gen Z is more conservative than millennials are.
Hey, white people, let's talk. Sometimes I forget that white people aren't as engaged with Black creators on this app and in the world as I am. So there was something over the weekend that I thought everybody was very well aware of, but I'm understanding that that's not the case. I was talking to my mom today, and she and my brother went to a protest on April 5th. To protest Trump and all of the things that have been happening for the last couple of months. So she was telling me about her experience, and she said it was like a love fest. It was so nice to be with all of these people, thousands of people, and everybody signs and all this stuff. And I said to her, did you notice that there weren't many Black people there, if any? And she was like, yeah, actually, I did notice, and I was confused, and I was like, I thought Black people were really upset about him too, and I didn't understand. This is my mom talking. So I explained to her that 92% of Black women and 80-some% of Black men did what they were supposed to do back on November 5th, and they are now resting, and they are not participating in these here protests. And that there was a concerted effort for Black folks to stay home yesterday on April 5th. And to be honest, I think she's still confused about the why, but I'm working on that. But do yourself a favor and follow Black content creators here on TikTok, because you will learn so much, and you will be able to use your new knowledge to help educate the people that you are in proximity with. But yeah, white folks, if you didn't know, Black folks said, we're not marching on April 5th. We're not doing it. We're going to stay home. We're going to let white people get us out of this mess, because white people got us into this mess. The more you know.
Black people in America, do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do. They are trying to gaslight you so much. If your silent protest was not working, they would not be trying to actively gaslight you. How are you going to say that you're going to free George Floyd's... I'm not even going to say his name because he's not worthy. You're going to free him. That didn't work. They said they're going to do this. That didn't work. They say they're going to do that. That's not going to work. This segregation, it ain't going to work. They're destroying graves. It's not going to work. Stand firm. The silent protest is working. They need a scapegoat. They need a target. If you go out there and crash out, all that's going to happen is you're going to be the distraction. You're going to be the target. And they will still put the same laws and the same protocols in. They will just use you as a scapegoat of why they're doing it. And then everyone else will blame you for the reason why everything is going so badly. Let the others handle their own business, okay? I've never been so proud of you in my life. Watching from the UK, it's like everyone collectively just said, I'm gonna sip water and mind my business. And honestly, as crazy as it is to watch everything unfold in America, your silent protest is working. Keep going.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction.
Black Women's Project 2025 is to rest. We've done all we can. We've done all we can. I said in my last video that community is the answer. That's it. I need you to tap in to the people who love and care about you. I need you guys over the next few months to take inventory of what resources that you have that can be shared amongst you. If you are Christian, this is a very biblical value, right? Acts, they had all things in common. Christianity is actually a very communal, despite what we've seen and heard, Christianity is a very communal religion. And so Project 2025, Black folks, Black women especially, your job is to rest. Kick up your feet. Take off the cape. We showed up. We showed out. We spoke up. We did what we were supposed to do. It is now time to rest. And I'm saying Black women, but Black men as well. Black men as well. It is your time to rest. Rest is an act of resistance. Rest is a rebellion. It is. And I don't mean rest like be apathetic, because that's not what we need. Some of us do need to organize, but I want you to organize for your community, not to save the country. We're done with that now. We're done with that. We'll vote again in 2026 and do our part in the midterm elections to boost whatever we can. But your Project 2025, no matter what happens with the actual Project 2025, which remains to be seen, your job is to do your best, to love yourself, to dig deep, deep roots in your community, and to see what we can do together. We have officially been outed out of this democracy. It's not for us. We will reap the consequences, but we are resilient. Black people are resilient. There was another creator on here. She made a video, and I think I reposted it. But she said, like, we've been through this. We know what to do. We've been faced with this before. For the minorities who wanted white proximity so bad that you voted against yourselves, I pray and I hope that you learn very quickly and you assimilate very quickly to the resilience, the level of resilience that you will need for you to thrive in this new and upcoming democracy. I will speak more on this as I feel like I'm going to be making videos throughout today, but rest today, especially. I unfortunately plan to see a client today because I was optimistic. So I'm going to do that. But other than that, I was going to get some work done today. I am resting. I'm going to take care of my household. I might clean up a little bit, but I am investing in me. And then I'm going to have some TLC. I have some TLC planned later this evening. And then this weekend, me and my girls have a sleepover planned. That's what I'm doing in response to this. And of course, I'm going to spend some time in prayer and I'm going to journal. I'll make another video soon about like how to cope and how to process. Please stay tuned. I'm already planning to meet with colleagues on how we can support our community during this time. So stay tuned. There will be free resources that I am working on. So yeah.
America is used to black anger. It is expected. They label it aggression, put it on TV, turn it into headlines. Anger is visible, it is emotional, it is reactive, and most importantly, it is predictable. They know how to diffuse anger, give a speech, cut a check, offer symbolic justice, and hope we go back to sleep. When we go silent, we are thinking, we are organizing, we are building schools, buying land, teaching our children off camera. That is not chaos, that is control, and a controlled black mind is far more dangerous to white supremacy than a loud one. White America did not burn Tulsa because we were angry. They burned it because we were silent and successful. Because we were more strategic, not screaming. They did not fear Malcolm X because he yelled. They feared him because he spoke calm, clear, and controlled. That silence between words, that is where the danger lived. When we go silent, we are doing the one thing white supremacy cannot monitor. Building institutions, passing down knowledge, circulating money within, planning moves without validation. No tweet, no hashtag, just momentum. Do not mistake silence for surrender. Do not mistake calm for comfort. The loudest revolutions do not always start with shouting. Sometimes they start with strategy, discipline, and focus. So when they ask, why aren't black people protesting today? Just smile, because silence is louder than any riot. White America fears black silence because it is the sound of power coming. And this time, we are not coming to negotiate, we are coming to own. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.
Now, I don't know about the we part, but I get where you get where he coming from. See, listen, you all, they understand that we're the children of Israel. They understand the power that we carry through our God. But now all that is over. It's time for us to focus on us. And that's what it's coming down to. You didn't want to give up reparations? Hey, no problem. But we're not going to vote. We're not participating in your system no more. You didn't want to give us an anti-black crime bill. That's the Democrats too now. Yeah, that's right. We watch you roll all that up and give it to the Asians. We watched you do all these things for everybody but us, and we've always been in the forefront of fighting for everybody. Then when they all get what they want, they want to give us their butts to kiss. No, that is over. We're not your expendable assets no more. And now our time has come, and I'm gonna keep on repeating that over and over and over again. And and the reason that we backing up is because just like everybody else, we now getting on code. See, J. Edgar Hoover said his biggest fear, I'm gonna say Israelite. He said black unity, but what he really meant was Israelite unity. And now we're in that time. We're in that time. And okay. Let me see. Okay, Tyrone. Okay, Big Mississippi has entered the house. Okay. Go back to Africa. Black talk, whack talk. No. Black talk is not whack talk. Big Mississippi. Black talk is wise talk when it's shaped around what the Holy Bible says and the one true God of the children of Israel, forms and shapes it. That's why you can't stop coming here. When the Lion's Den is in full effect, and you got myself, Dark Storm, and of course at the helm, making sure everything goes down smooth. When we take flight, the seventh answer. Lady Karima, when we're on deck, you always come through. Big Mississippi, why? Because our talk is where it's at. That's why prior to you coming up in here, we've been showing videos and clips of people who've obviously been watching us. You know? And you can't resist coming here, no matter how much you may go to other channels, you may go here, you may go there. But Big Mississippi, you know you always home when you tune into the Lion's Den. Shalom, Big Mississippi. Welcome. As we continue, the pork and the confessions. All right? And bottom line is, we're going to continue on. Let me see. Seventh answer. Are you still energized for just one more? We're in a 3-hour mark. And here where I'm at, it's about to be 1:30 in the morning, but I'm a little high. Can I get one? Let me have one more video. Please, seventh answer. Just one more. And then we're just going to call it a night. But we done gave y'all 3 hours of food. I think we can just give you one more, y'all. Just one more. But as you can see, for all y'all who are quietly watching in the background, you see how concerned the whole world is about why we're not saying anything. You know why we're not saying anything? I'm going to let you know why. Even further. Because with all these lynching of our people right now, all these strange fruit killings going on, the Most High is now shuffling our deck. And he's now about to bring out the hunters. A lot of us are clamoring for it. We wondering when he's gonna make his move. Why come he's still just laying back in the cut? Why he's so freaking patient with these cave bears doing what they doing to us? Well, I get it now. I see why. He's shuffling the deck. It's about to get real funky as the war clan is going to be moved to the forefront. And with that being said, we're about to conclude this particular conversation, the pork and the confessions. Run the video, seventh answer.
The Epstein files have turned into one of the most humiliating political failures of his administration. Every cover-up attempt, every blacked-out document, every lost recording only fuels more curiosity, more outrage, and more determination to uncover the truth. The harder they try to distract the public, the louder the scandal gets. Take that infamous missing minute from Epstein's prison tape. Pam Bondi swore it was just a camera reset. Nothing to see here, but now that excuse has been exposed as a lie. And with that revelation, the fallout has landed squarely on Trump's doorstep. Bondi's blunder didn't just fail to contain the story, it blew it wide open. And it couldn't come at a worse time, as new moves from reps, Rowan and Thomas Massie, are putting fresh pressure on Congress to release the rest of the Epstein files once and for all. This isn't just about missing footage anymore. It's about how far a president and his allies will go to hide the truth and how spectacularly they've failed.
If you saw the news, but Fox News is claiming.
You know what? Seventh answer. You know what? Okay, we're gonna give you. That was a preview. Okay. I have to go into this, but brothers and sisters, that'll be for if we live. We'll be back tomorrow, most likely, to continue that particular conversation. Oh no, we ain't gonna let you go. All you freaks and perverts out there in government, We're not letting you go. We can't let up off this. But as you can see, having these freaks and perverts and pedophiles running the government is the reason why we all are experiencing being raped economically, socially, politically, militarily, spiritually, intellectually, and emotionally. That's right. I'm going to lay it plain. And that's why they got to go. Now, you've enjoyed a thorough 3.5 hours of high-powered conversation. But all good things must come to an end, only to resume at another time. So we give an honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. We've been your host, the seventh answer, Lady Karima, along with the one and only Brother Dark Storm. And we hope that you've enjoyed this conversation. And it's going to continue talking about what's on your mind. We want you to hit that like and subscribe button. Invite a friend to join. Invite a friend, bring a friend along. Share this show. And as you rewatch it, bring out your notebooks and pens and take down facts, figures, and computations, and go check things out for yourself. We pride ourselves on anyone going behind us to be sure that we are not conning nor hustling you. We want you to understand, anyone who challenges you to go out and check things out for yourself, that's someone you can trust. And we hope that we've earned your trust. Now, with all that being said, seventh answer, do you have any parting shots?
Nope, just hit the like. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already did so. Thank you.
All right, and also, and let Sister Karima know how you feel about her original music and everything else that she's producing, and you're now hearing original song. That's right, and she's very creative, as you can see, very industrious. And with that being said, stay tuned. And Salaya Ben Yah, that's right. We believe in people disagreeing with us, but be respectful. But anyway, we love you all out here. So, Salaya Ben La, Cooking with Billy. Big Mississippi, you came in late, but you'll come in on time tomorrow if we all still here. We have Asiatic 777. All y'all out here in the comment section that's been vibing, clicking, and politicking. Hashua Amariel. And everybody else out there listening to us. We thank you for, again, allowing us to come into your mind, soul, and cipher. And from city to city and state to state, the Lion's Den, we're going to keep you regular, like K.O. Pecte. And from the nation's capitals, the Pineapple to the Big Apple to Cali, we're going to keep you entertained and informed from the start to the grand finale, which is right about now. And again, we've been your host, Brother Mala Akaya, a.k.a. Dark Storm, Baby Hebrew, and the Lioness, the seventh answer, Lady Karima. And we're going to be right back at you. And as always, in the spirit of our brother and once known in life as Don Cornelius, we're going to always say to you all, Shalom, peace. Aha, because we bring you love and the posh. Preserve and watch over your soul. And we are up out of here.
Sucker freeze about distancing myself from negative influencers and toxic people who lack conviction, morals, and genuine intentions. These individuals claim to help but actually do harm, lacking substance and contributing nothing positive. They're driven by self-interest, mimicking and sabotaging others rather than building anything of value. They're the devil's work, distractions and flip-floppers who go from one belief to another, joining and following others for convenience. I'm staying true to my values and faith, avoiding those who try to manipulate and deceive. The Lion's Den represents a challenging environment where debates and conflicts arise around faith and beliefs. I'm critiquing individuals who claim to care about people, but are actually self-serving, taking information, a face valuation, a false doubt discernment, and failing to support their own community. I'm staying sucker-free from those who align themselves with a demon mentality and try to destroy others. Take flight, I'm on the mic in Mars. Sucker free, that's my vibe, no time for scars. Stay true to my faith, no room for snakes. Stand away from fake, they ain't on my team. Sucker free, who? Lion's Den, that's where I be. I'm distancing myself from the suckers. No morals, no values, just drama and schemes. These individuals claim to help but do harm, lack substance and contribute nothing positive. Driven by self-interest, mimicking and sabotaging others rather than building anything of value. They're the devil's work, distractions, going from one belief to another, joining and following others for convenience. Monitoring spirits trying to copy, sabotage and destroy. But I'm on a mission, building something new, breaking through. Where the strong survive, standing firm, no room to thrive for the fake, the phony, the ones who pretend. I'm sucker free and my message will transcend. The Lion's Den represent a challenging or hostile environment where debates and conflicts arise, particularly around faith and beliefs. It's a metaphor for standing firm in the face of opposition or criticism and potentially being tested or scrutinized by others. It symbolizes the struggles and controversies that come with holding strong convictions. Stay sucker free from the people who switch up.